Thursday on the man-made movie,
West.
Will Smith,
Jim West.
Kevin Kline,
Lady, I'm a U.S. Marshal.
Selma Hayek. The Old West never looked so good. Wild Wild West. And the man-made movie house is shaking it up. As Chad serves up some suds.
Too bad you can't drink on camera.
And an old-fashioned good time. Wild Wild West on the man-made movie. Thursday at 8 Eastern, only on TBS Superstation.
2 points is 2 points.
Don't be a show-off.
I don't care if you slam dunk. I don't care if you shoot a layup.
2 points is 2 points.
All you gotta do is take a short shot, box out, rebound. You ain't got to dunk on everybody.
Forget about the theatrics.
All you getting for that is two.
You ain't scored 2 points your whole life.
Who you gonna listen to? How about yourself? Obey your thirst. Sprite.
Hey, yo, Kobe, you think you're getting some tickets?
Courtside?
Yeah.
Come on.
Sorry. Do that scriptwriter too?
I'm in.
For the great taste that won't fill you up and never lets you down.
Right at that.
Pliers.
Make it a Bud Light.
You pump. Yes. You pump. You pump. Aloha.
Me and you. It just takes two.
There is the world you know, and one you can only imagine. Where you can navigate satellites or fly without ever leaving the ground. Where you can live in the future before it even arrives. When you cross into the blue, everything is different and important.
Especially you.
The NBA playoffs on TBS are brought to you by Hyundai, where the freedom of America's best warranty is standard equipment. By the AT&T Ultimate Fan Zone on NBA.com. You can get NBA gear just by talking on the phone. By Circuit City. Circuit City, we're with you. And by Bud Light. For the great taste that won't fill you up and never let you down, make it a Bud Light.
Ernie Johnson in Atlanta. We will have full post-game coverage of the Hornets' win over the Orlando Magic at halftime of the game you're about to see. Game 2 of our doubleheader between the Nets and the Pacers. A New Jersey win puts them in the conference semis against the Hornets. Stay tuned.
How do you outrun a bolt of lightning? Find out this July.
Should you find yourself in Ireland on that most special holiday, go to O'Neill's, where you'll find the locals celebrating in traditional fashion.
Hey, John, happy Cinco de Mayo.
The rules have changed. Now there is no up or down. Introducing Mach 3 Turbo. Total comfort whether you shave down or up. A new anti-friction coating on all 3 blades, plus a new strip releases even more lubrication. So even against the grain, you get less irritation and the closest shave. It's turning the shaving world upside down. The revolutionary new Mach 3 Turbo. From Gillette, the best a man can get.
You're about to be treated like no man before. New Gillette Series Shave Gel with ingredients like tea tree oil to invigorate. You get a close shave and healthy-looking skin. Gillette, the best a man can get.
Kevin Garnett, the kid, player of the present and future. Ideal player of the 21st century. What up? We call him KG the Kid, KG. But if you seen him with a basketball, you know that he grown. You seen him on the ball court, you know that he home. It's like every dunk is drastic. First to get drafted out of high school since Moses Malone. Everybody gotta earn their turn. I think the kid game got hotter since his jersey burned. And you couldn't find a finer kid than a 7-foot South Carolina kid obsessed with balls. And the rim need a hard net. Better act like you know, come on dog. That's Kevin Garnett, about to get an N1 all in your mug. Said he play around the clock cause it's ball in his blood. He ain't think about a turnover. That's KG, he the player of the future. And the game about the turnover. Think you got game, then you gon' have to learn over. KG.
Welcome to a sold-out Conseco Fieldhouse. It's Game 4 between the Indiana Pacers and the New Jersey Nets. Our Circuit City starting lineups: Keith Van Horn, Kenyon Martin, Todd McCullough, Kerry Kittles, and Jason Kidd for the Nets. Ron Artest, Jermaine O'Neal, Brad Miller, Reggie Miller, and Jamal Tinsley for the Indiana Pacers, who are facing elimination against the #1 seed in the East. The Nets, who have been very impressive in their last 2 wins after dropping the opener at home. And of course, the Nets, as Artest puts up the first shot of the game and puts in a 3. One of the keys for the New Jersey Nets, if they want to wrap this up, they're a good defensive team, but they have to do something, Jeff, about Reggie Miller.
They absolutely do. They have to be much closer to him, allow no separation, no catch and shoot shots.
Miller, as per usual, as Van Horn steps out of bounds, has been brilliant in the postseason. One of the all-time clutch playoff performers.
Mike, we might as well say this right up front. Indiana's only 1 rebound away from being up 2-1 in this series rather than New Jersey. If they would have just gotten that 1 defensive rebound instead of giving them the second shot, which Kittle made for 3.
Artest gets his own rebound. Ron Artest, who said the Nets have wanted it more the last 2 games, has promised to come out and outwork New Jersey. As we'll take a look at Byron Scott, the head coach, at tonight's MX leaderboard. Reggie Miller averaging over 24 a game. O'Neal leading in rebounds, and Jason Kidd nearly 10 assists per game. Kidd is the Nets leader in scoring, rebounding, and assists in the first 3 games of this series. The alley-oop try. Kenyon Martin knocks it away. Miller, the feed, knocked out of bounds. Last touch, it appeared by Kenyon Martin. Officials now rule it'll stay Pacer ball.
We see Indiana using slice cuts by O'Neal to start out the game to try and free him up. When he just tries to back down Kenyon Martin, he's not quite strong enough yet to do that. So they need to get him on the move this game.
Miller off the mark, and here comes Kenyon Martin. How about, guys, as coaches, do you coach any different when your team's facing elimination as Kidd knocks down the 3?
Well, I think you do what you do normally, but certainly the pressure ups. You've got to take advantage of opportunities. No one wants to play Reggie Miller in a Game 5 in the New York metropolitan area. They got to take care of business tonight. New Jersey does.
I think we understand your pain in thinking that way. Brad Miller goes at McCullough, gets inside. McCullough got a piece of it, knocked it away again. Scramble. Keith Van Horn comes up.
That's a normal shot for Brad Miller to shoot that baseline jumper. He hesitated. He tried to get McCullough to leave his feet and then go past him.
And Van Horn knocks it down. So the Nets, with their second 3-pointer, they're only shooting 22% from downtown during this series.
And as Isaiah Thomas told us prior to the game, we can live with Jason Kidd getting between 20 and 25. It's Kenyon Martin and Van Horn that we must hold down tonight if we're going to win.
Tinsley took his eye off it, and it'll be Nets ball. Tinsley, of course, has been bothered by the sprained knee suffered in Game 1 of this series. Admitted yesterday it's very sore. He's not 100%, and he's got maybe the toughest defensive assignment on the floor.
The problem with Tinsley being hurt is that Indiana's getting no transition points, no fast break baskets in the first 3 games. 56-21 advantage in transition points, fast break points in favor of New Jersey.
With more on Jamal Tinsley, let's go to D-line and D.
Well, Mike, you were talking about him, and the one thing I do notice, Jamal Tinsley is without the brace that he did wear in Game 3. So he must be feeling slightly better. That, or he wants to try something new to try to have better lateral movement here tonight.
Thanks, D. Played very well in Game 1 as McCullough rushes the shot, and rebound O'Neal. A 1-point New Jersey lead, nearly 3 minutes gone by. A victory by the Pacers, and Game 5 would be Thursday night in Jersey. Tinsley left open and knocks it down.
If they're going to sag like Kidd just did, Jamal Tinsley's got to step up and shoot the ball. The only way you get guys to play you honestly is to take and make shots.
Kidd playing off him that time. Kittles looking for Van Horn. Artest doing a good job denying. Kidd gets it inside to Van Horn. Pretty pass from Jason Kidd at the last second.
Ron Artest left Van Horn. That's who he was guarding in the low post area. As soon as he saw that a teammate needed help defensively, he left to challenge the shot. Then the late drop-off pass to Van Horn.
Miller on the floater. McCullough the rebound.
See, that's a defense you have to play against Reggie Miller. You have to be attached to him, make him put it on the floor, make him take shots on the move rather than catch and shoot shots.
Miller 0 for 3 to start. Miller now on Kidd on the transition defense. Martin fires away. McCullough chips it out, but right to Miller. Goes at Van Horn, tries to draw contact, and gets the foul call. Van Horn's first, and Miller to the line, where he's been getting there frequently throughout the series.
I think Reggie Miller was more mad at himself for not converting this basket because the official had the call right away. Miller turns at the end, looks at the official, kind of saying, like, come on, make the call. But call was made immediately. He just missed the layup that he should have made.
You know what I liked about that? He comes out, he misses his first 3 shots. Instead of pulling up and taking the 3, which he's an excellent three-point shooter, he drives it to the basket. He's going to get himself going by making 2 free throws. He led the league there. Very intelligent play.
And Mike, you talked about before how the Pacers really 1 rebound away from it being a Nets elimination game. Pacers also a few made free throws away, because in game 3 they were 12 of 21 from the free throw line. Not just Jermaine O'Neal missing a key one in the final seconds, but as a team they missed crucial free throws that could have won the game for them.
Well, Jeff can tell you how many games have you lost coaching where it comes down to your team just having a subpar night at the foul line and of course your very important game.
Absolutely. Every big playoff loss we had came down to, in some part, to miss free throws.
Kenyon Martin with a good aggressive move. And Martin gets his first field goal. Nets back up by 1. And a foul away from the ball. Terry Kittles trying to fight through some screens. No one better at drawing those kind of fouls than Reggie Miller, and Kittles picks up his first.
Well, you see right here, Reggie Miller is going to take him off a little back screen. He initiates the contact, and then he's a great actor in that when he's held, he exaggerates it to get the foul call drawn on Kittles, gets him up closer to being in the penalty.
Kittles does a good job staying in front that time. Shot clock winding down. That's a 3. And Kenyon Martin the rebound. Miller now 0 for 4 from the field. Kenyon Martin and Jermaine O'Neal have been kind of a sideshow in this series as Jason Kidd misfires. Kidd's taking about 5 more shots a game in the playoffs through the first 3 games than he did in the regular season. Now, obviously, they're up 2-1, so they're leading and it's successful. But do you want him shooting that many times?
Well, many times that's because of what the defense is giving you. They're willing to let Jason Kidd try to make shots from the outside. He's got to prove himself that he can make it to make them have to play him.
And Jermaine O'Neal trying to prove himself after subpar games 2 and 3, and puts his first shot in. We've already had 6 lead changes, Pacers by 1.
I would not be surprised if we see some type of physical confrontation tonight between Kenyon Martin and O'Neal, because people basically have been saying that Kenyon Martin has been too strong, too physical for Jermaine O'Neal. He's been reading it for the last 2 games. Already coming down the floor, I've seen them go after each other a couple of times. The officials have to stay right on top of this one tonight.
Well, I think that Martin is impeding O'Neal's progress down to set screens. In the regular season, that's a foul. In the playoffs, they seem to be letting that type of contact go more often.
4-on-1 break for the Pacers, and Artest. Bad pass in a turnover.
That's why coaches want the ball in certain players' hands. People that understand how to make the decision at the end. A look-away pass is great, only when it works.
Isaiah Thomas, as we know, was saying before the game, he's going to live with those type of mistakes from Ron Artest as long as he's giving the type of effort defensively that he expects. Those are killers, though. They're absolutely ones that decide games.
And a bad pass down the other end, another turnover. But just as you're talking about defense, he does a good job contesting Van Horn's shot. Artest is only 22 years old. He's only been with the team since February, and we've seen how talented he is defensively.
And you know, this team is revved up tonight. They understand the importance of this game. They don't win, they go home. They've been outscored in transition, as I mentioned earlier, 56-21. So there they had 2 opportunities to score in transition, and they don't take advantage of it.
Martin misfires, battle inside, and a loose ball foul will go against New Jersey. Second foul against Todd McCullough. And the team's exchanging leads frequently here in the early minutes. Just over 5.5 to go in the first. Pacers by 1.
We weren't technically a garage band since we practiced in a barn. We still make a lot of noise, only now it's on the phone.
Introducing AT&T Unlimited.
Luckily, I pay one flat rate and we talk till we're hoarse.
$19.95 a month for unlimited long-distance calls to any AT&T residential long-distance customer. Call all you want, whenever you want, and never watch the clock.
I love them, but I'm not going to pay a lot to listen to them. Nobody ever did.
Call 1-800-REACH-OUT to enroll.
Uh-oh. They're all down.
Mm-hmm. It happens.
The whole team down at once?
That's infrastructure.
Well, what do we do?
Just watch.
Ladies and gentlemen, back up and recovery!
Wow. Miracle.
No miracle. But close.
I am Ruth Riley. My life revolves around sports. I love to watch sports and play sports. Shot blocking is probably my favorite thing to do. My favorite movie is Hoosiers. It's not a tough choice. The best movie ever made. My mom means everything to me, and my family has been so supportive of me along the way. I do try to answer all my fan mail. If people take the time to write to me, that's the least I can do is take the time to write them back. This is who I am. I am Ruth Riley.
How do you take the sting out of killer bees? Find out this July.
The NBA playoffs on TBS are brought to you by the AT&T Ultimate Fan Zone on NBA.com. You can get NBA gear just by talking on the phone. By Kia Motors, makers of a full line of quality cars backed by a 10-year warranty program. By IBM, taking e-business and your business to the next level. And by American Express Financial Advisors. Make life rewarding.
You need to find a way to get comfortable in terms of dealing with pressure and understanding it. And personally, I like pressure. I like being asked to do the impossible, and I like doing the impossible. I mean, it's a comfortable place for me, and that's where I've had some of my best times.
He was such a pressure player, but his young center, Jermaine O'Neal, has put a lot of pressure on himself, Mike, with all the talk in the last couple of games. Maybe too much pressure on himself?
Well, he came out in the first game, had 30 points, but 24 of those 30 came in the first half. Since that time, going into tonight's game, he only scored 30 in the next 10 quarters, Mike. So perhaps a little bit too much pressure, a little too much defense from Kenyon Martin. 3-second
violation called against Indiana. Martin's defense has been superb. Overall, New Jersey's defense, you know, you talk about Jason Kidd and his flash and his triple doubles and the alley-oops. Their defense is really their #1 strength.
Absolutely, and they're a great transition team and score more in transition than most teams in the playoffs. But they get their solid reputation from being able to play people one-on-one, keep people in front, and the leader in that, too, is Jason Kidd.
Jermaine O'Neal called for that foul. Of course, the crowd doesn't like it as O'Neal picks up his first. And the first team foul against Indiana.
If you're a road team in the playoffs, you want Steve Javie on the game. The best road official in the NBA.
Tinsley to Miller. Blocked by Aaron Williams. Pretty play from Williams, who's made a number of key defensive plays in this series.
He's been very, very important for this team the entire season.
O'Neal misses. Artest bangs it off the backboard, and he's going to be called for a loose ball foul. So Artest picks up his first.
This looks like it's going to be an easy score for Reggie Miller, but just the tip of the finger gets a piece of the ball and stops the layup attempt by Reggie Miller.
Miller now 0 for 5 from the field. Shooting 55% through the first 3 games. Williams gets inside. Aaron Williams continues to play well off the bench.
They like him because he gives them, and I'm talking New Jersey, obviously, a post-up threat. Somebody they can throw the ball to down low. He can get a shot at the basket or get fouled.
Artest goes right at Keith Van Horn. Steve Van Horn, of course, all the Nets with those black socks. Van Horn looks to me with those tall, long black socks like a mailman in the summer. You know, the mailman used to wear the tall black socks. I can't get that picture out of my head. As Kittles is foul on the way to the goal. Reggie Miller picks up his first.
Mike, not many people remember that poster that you were talking about, but I kind of do, vaguely.
I cared about my mailman.
That's very important for the broadcast, and I feel much better about myself now that I know how you felt.
It's also reminiscent. I probably should stop there. It's reminiscent of Rick Smits when Smits and the Pacers used to use those high black socks. Tinsley knocked away. Kenyon Martin again with the deflection. Kid racing down the floor and draws the foul.
Just right out of the bat, Indiana is playing hard. They're getting, when they get the shots, they're getting good shots, but they're turning it over too much. And this is going to lead to transition for New Jersey. New Jersey has a trouble scoring in the half court. These are the type of opportunities that present themselves when you make unnecessary turnovers.
5 turnovers for Indiana as Kidd misses, and they're averaging 17 for the season, or for the series, I should say. There you see the all-time triple-doubles. Jason Kidd in pursuit of some pretty impressive names. He led the NBA in triple-doubles. You're not, Coach Van Gundy, big on the triple-double stat, are you?
Well, the guy gets 29, 10 rebounds, and 9 assists. Is it any less of a game? I think we've overstated sports, particularly basketball. That and the blood rule. I'm just caught up on these couple things.
It's a nice way for the fans to keep track as Martin called for the foul. Looks over at Tom Washington, the other official, and argues lightly. First foul on Martin.
Well, if you listen to Kenyon Martin, he said, I hit the ball, all ball on this. We'll take a look right now on the replay, whether when he reaches in and slaps down, if he gets ball. That's arm to me. And that's where the foul is called.
Well, maybe the official's thinking what you said earlier about the way these guys have gone at it. They want to avoid something, so we've seen twice both down on the post and calling it pretty tight on these two guys.
No question. They understand the magnitude of the game. They understand, just like everybody else has been reading about it, hearing about the series. They know that these two guys are going after each other, so they want to make sure that the message is sent early tonight that we will have none of that in this game, which remains to be seen.
O'Neal, of course, missed key free throw down the stretch of game 3. Byron Scott actually said after the game that he knew he was going to miss at least one of them. And O'Neal did that, and the Nets escaped with a victory. Scott, of course, a former Pacer, part of his playing career. Ball knocked off Aaron Williams. Lucius Harris in the game. Hard screen set by Williams. Goes inside. This is Martin on the follow. Reggie Miller took a shot on that screen from Aaron Williams.
Miller is the absolute best when he gets hit with a legal screen of snapping his head back, drawing attention to himself, and getting calls. You are not fooling Steve Javie on that type of play.
Ron Mercer, you see in the game. O'Neal gets it deep in the post. And a foul called. Already the play starting to get physical. And it's going to be on Kenyon Martin. That's his second.
Remember, we said they're going to try and keep O'Neal on the move, flashing to the ball so that Kenyon Martin can't lean on him and use his strength against him.
Chandra Levy's parents, a year after their daughter disappeared. I'm Paula Zahn on the Next American Morning. Do they still think Gary Condon played a role? And why does their son think she's still alive? That's tomorrow at 7 a.m. Eastern.
Of all the minivans available today, only one comes with the government's highest 5-star safety rating, a 10-year warranty, and a starting price of under $20,000. The Kia Sedona. Pretty impactful, isn't it? Right now, get 0% APR financing on the 2002 Kia Sedona.
Velocity set. Location direct TV. All systems are go. Affirmative. The rocket is ready. Roger. T-minus 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Ignition. We have a strikeout. We have a strikeout. 12 minutes past the hour. Outstanding. Hang another K.
He's the most famous supermodel on the planet. Now,
You must rescue the Prime Minister.
he'll be called upon to save the day.
We need your help.
Meet the new face
They're breakdance fighting.
of danger. Ben Stiller,
If you find the files, you can stop them. They're in the computer. They're in the computer?
Zoolander,
Now playing on pay-per-view. Tune to the 100s and order with your remote.
USA Today is the place for a comprehensive look around the league. Get all the latest scores, stats, standings, and daily game recaps to keep you up to date with your favorite teams and players. So pick up your copy of USA Today every day.
That's tough. That's the way it goes. You know, sometimes some of your guys get hurt and you just try to push the right button. Tonight was, I tell you, a desperate search for me. I mean, I tried small, I tried big, I tried everything. Traps, zones. Nothing worked tonight.
And the Charlotte Hornets advance to the second round. Well, they'll play the winner of this series. Nets can wrap it up tonight. Of course, Boston leading 2-1. They'll play in Philadelphia game 4 tomorrow. Detroit and Toronto at game 5. No sweeps in the East.
I think the secret is you don't want to get Charlotte in the first round of the playoffs. Go back last year, they swept Miami. All of a sudden now they come 3-1, beat Orlando without Mashburn. I know Orlando was beat up. Doc Rivers did really a great job this year with that team, getting them the number of wins, you know, helping them get the wins they had. But again, Charlotte down the stretch started playing well, and they're on the roll right now.
I just love the combination they have of speed, shooting, and size if Mashburn's back. I don't think any team in the East is better than they are.
O'Neal hits the first free throw. When talking about some of his brash comments and taking responsibility, Isaiah Thomas telling us before the game that he loves that in the player. Loves the fact that a guy's going to step up and take responsibility and say, hey, either I was at fault for that loss or I'm going to give our team a win.
Well, too many guys nowadays are looking for excuses all the time. There are built-in excuses in this league. 3 games in 4 nights, 4 nights, and 4 games in 5 nights, things like that. Minor injuries that you get, but everybody goes through that. It's the idea of playing through it. It doesn't matter that you happen to have a hangnail. So does some other guy on the other team, but he's playing tonight and contributing.
Ron Mercer, the jumper, puts it in.
It's very interesting. The Pacers have gone to a big backcourt with Ron Mercer and Reggie Miller. It also makes them a more effective half-court team because when Kidd just went down to double, Mercer's a spot-up shooter, better than Tinsley. It just makes them a little bit more vulnerable in that they can't create transition opportunities.
Brad Miller able to get it away, though Aaron Williams being a pest down there. Collins, the rookie, battling O'Neal, fronting him, and now O'Neal gets it. O'Neal inside. Nice move from Jermaine O'Neal.
You see, Collins doesn't have the foot speed and quickness of Kenyon Martin. So that time O'Neal is able to go around him. He has a harder time going around Kenyon Martin.
And he also is not paying attention to the scouting report. O'Neal, although he's a right-hand player, is a left-hand driver.
Well, here, facing up, you're thinking about his jump shot. Once he gets you to come out of your stance and raise up just a little bit, there he is raising up. Now he puts it on the floor with his left hand, as you said, and finishes.
Martin now on the bench with 2 fouls. Meanwhile, Artest just picked up his second for Indiana, and the Pacers in the penalty. Just over a minute and a half remaining in this first quarter as the rookie Jason Collins misses the first free throw. And Jonathan Bender will come in. Collins, if you ask Byron Scott, what player made the biggest jump in terms of improvement from the beginning of the season to now, he'll say Collins. He loves the way he's come along. They didn't have high expectations for him to play a lot of minutes this season.
I saw him in the Boston Summer League. Didn't play particularly effectively, and that he's a contributor is really a great trait for a guy to get. He just kept persistent, kept working, improved his lateral quickness, worked his way into some minutes. Not a lot, but some minutes.
He was a first-round pick of the Rockets, acquired in that trade for Eddie Griffith, who was drafted by Jersey. Then they acquired 3 guys and an offensive foul call against the Indiana Pacers. O'Neal will pick up his second. So Jermaine O'Neal with 2, Kenyon Martin with 2, and Ron Artest with 2.
That was a tough call, I thought. I thought that was a legal screen.
I think O'Neal agrees with you as he goes to the bench, and Jeff Foster will come in. One of your top energy guys. 3-point Pacer lead. See the turnovers for Indiana early. It's a problem they've had a little bit in the series, and an offensive foul the other way. Lucius Harris with the illegal screen. That's his first.
We see cutting off the high post area, and then we see Reggie snapping back, just as you mentioned, Jeff. He does a pretty good job of acting with that head and arms whenever there's body contact to Reggie Miller.
Very chippy game here in the opening quarter.
Chippy, yes.
You like that?
I do.
Miller always looks like he's being shot by a sniper on those flops. It's just like his body's going all over the place, but he's earned the right.
The other Miller draws the foul. Aaron Williams went for the head fake. And Brad Miller will shoot a couple of free throws. Of course, he came over in the trade from Chicago, along with Artest and Kevin Ollie and Ron Mercer for Jalen Rose and Travis Best. Jefferson, they call a foul on Jefferson, his first.
A crucial trade for Indiana because it allowed O'Neal, who had been playing in the post, low post, as the center for the season up to that point, to move to his more natural power forward position. And Miller, because of his ability to face up and shoot the jump shot, really complements it. Now you can post up O'Neal, and you have the fourth guy that can get on the perimeter to make the shot on that last pass out when they reverse the basketball.
You saw Donnie Walsh, man who engineered the trade, sitting there watching the action here at Conseco Fieldhouse. 4-point Pacer lead, final minute, opening quarter.
He's put this organization in pretty good shape without dropping off the edge of the table.
There's a turnover for the Nets, their fifth, so a bit of a sloppy first quarter. Nets shooting 35%, and they've turned it over 5 times. They're only down 4, though.
We have this little thing going tonight, a chippy game, a little bit of this English playing thing.
That Fordham education's really paying off right now.
Miller gets inside. Reggie Miller with his first field goal.
Lucius Harris did the right thing. He trailed him off that screen. He got no help from the man defending the passer or the man defending the screener. You can't be Reggie Miller and come off naked on that. You've got to get help.
6-point lead. Harris kicks it out. Jefferson setting up Jason Kidd. And Kidd misses the 3. Shot clock turned off. And another wild pass as Brad Miller goes crashing into a photographer along the baseline.
Reggie really didn't want to throw that. He took one dribble, was looking up. He saw Miller down there with his hand up. Miller was like out in front, and Reggie couldn't decide whether to do it or not. He did it, and then he was sorry for doing it.
Harris in trouble, has to get one off. And backs it in. A three-pointer at the buzzer for Lucius Harris.
Now there's a 5-point swing potentially in the game. 2 points that Indiana doesn't get by waiting for the last shot of the quarter, trying to get the fast break. And instead, this 3-pointer by Harris as he falls backwards off the glass.
They defended him perfectly, but the turnover, the 7th for the Indiana Pacers, a costly one. A physical first quarter here in Game 4. Pacers lead by 3.
Thursday on the man-made movie.
West.
Will Smith.
Jim West.
Kevin Kline.
Not a lady, I'm a U.S. Marshal.
Selma Hayek. The Old West never looked so good. Wild, Wild West. And the man-made movie house is shaking it up. As Chad serves up some suds.
Too bad you can't drink on camera.
And an old-fashioned good time. Wild, Wild West on the man-made movie. Thursday at 8 Eastern, only on TBS Superstation.
Subway has a new bread made with that bee guy's honey and his oats.
Oh, whoa.
Hey, Subway's this way!
Subway's new honey oat on wheat starts with tasty wheat bread. Then we coat it with honey and oats and bake it all together.
Subway, eat fresh!
Armor All Protectant Wipes. Armor All Shine and Protection in a wipe.
I taught him how to do that reverse slam dunk.
I taught him the fundamentals.
Boxing out.
Boxing out.
Dipsy doing.
Rebound.
Twist people up.
Bounce pass.
That's me.
I taught him.
I showed him that.
That's me.
Not you, me. That was me.
Who you gonna listen to? How about yourself? Obey your thirst. Sprite.
I thought you told him to be a dentist. Man, don't move your head.
Come on.
Anything in the mail?
Junk. Hey, look at this.
What?
A credit card pre-approved. You know what that means?
You already have a credit card.
But it's pre-approved. What do you want? A trip to Bermuda?
The Caymans?
Yeah. Or a nice dinner out.
You know what I want? A house.
Using credit wisely is the first step toward owning a home. Call for the free guide on credit from the Fannie Mae Foundation and for a list of lenders and credit counselors.
Chrysler 300N, the most powerful V6 sports sedan in its class. With its seductive styling and inspired engineering, it is truly a pleasure to drive. Even when that sort of thing is strictly forbidden.
Samuel, is that you?
Yes, it is I.
Exclusively from Chrysler, our 7-year, 100,000-mile powertrain pledge, because love is a commitment.
Honey, I've got the black teddy on.
Yeah, okay.
And I put the satin sheets on the bed.
Yeah. Be up in a minute.
I've got cold Bud Light.
Ow.
Honey?
For the great taste that won't fill you up and never let you down.
Steve? Debbie?
Make it a Bud Light.
Let's go back a couple moments ago to see how Reggie Miller frees himself up for an open shot at the basket. Brad Miller has already passed the ball back to the top to force it. Now he's going to come down and set a screen. The idea is, how do you want to play Reggie Miller as Miller starts to come off this screen? Forster makes believe he's looking away, but he knows where Reggie Miller is. Here comes the screen. Right now, as Miller starts to run the curl, this defensive player has to rely on Collins, his teammate, to step out and bump Reggie Miller, or else Miller's going to continue to go down the lane. Well, Collins gets caught with a decision. Do I go to Reggie or do I go back to Miller for the jump shot? You know what he does? Neither one. And Miller makes the layup.
And that was Reggie Miller's lone field goal the first quarter. It's sloppy in the opening 12 minutes. 14 fouls, 12 combined turnovers, 5 missed free throws. Harris to Collins. Anthony Johnson, the backup point guard, off the mark. O'Neal nearly tipped it in, and Mercer comes away.
You know, Jeff, when I just drew that on the fellowship, I was expecting you to jump in and explain to us what lock and trail was on that particular dot. You know, you didn't do that.
I didn't jump in because the stunts were so bad. You know, I didn't want to get on Collins too much, but that was bad. I think it's an interesting decision. Isaiah Thomas going back with Jermaine O'Neal with 2 fouls to start the second quarter. He must really, really believe in his maturity level to play with fouls, which is unusual for a young player.
Tinsley called for a double dribble there. D. Lynham reports Byron Scott told his team after the first quarter, hey, we're right there, but we can play a lot better, so let's go. As they trail by 3, opening minute here in the second. Jefferson gets inside and 1. The impressive rookie named to the all-rookie second team yesterday with a chance for a 3-point play.
I think this is the other young man that Byron Scott mentioned to us showed the most improvement. Collins was one, Jefferson the other. Maybe one of their best one-on-one players off the dribble. Putting the ball down and creating shots for himself.
He's got a great first step and makes enough jump shots that you have to honor it. And on that drive, O'Neal with the 2 fouls he was in the area, but he didn't try to block the shot.
He's been struggling a bit in the first 3 games of the series, but ties it at 22. O'Neal wants the ball. Aaron Williams again pushing him out. Mercer stripped, knocked off his leg. New Jersey ball.
It's one of those hello fakes where you're making believe that your teammate's going to get a pass for a change, and the teammate knows it's never coming.
It's the 9th turnover for Indiana. And you see the lead changes. Jefferson gets it inside. Oh, what a block from Jonathan Bender. Mercer, a little out of control again. And Tinsley will set it up. Tinsley with the jumper. In and out. Foster knocked it out of bounds.
They keep going underneath the screens when Tinsley's involved on the offensive end of the floor, and they're going to do it until he makes enough shots to force him to do something different defensively.
And they're also, when the ball goes in the post with O'Neal, they're coming off Tinsley to double team.
As Johnson gets it inside.
And O'Neal's not going to have any room. And that's why you need shooting around great players, to keep people honest, to give your best players enough room to operate. O'Neal doesn't have enough room to operate right now.
You mean shooters like Pedro Stojakovic last night, where he lit it up?
I like that name.
Foster just barrels into Anthony Johnson. Johnson just made a bucket and then picks up a charge. And he continues to do a solid job off the bench.
One of the things that Jersey does on a regular basis is come up with backdoor baskets, people back cutting on their opponents. And as we take a look here, stop right there. We have a high post screen taking place. It's a rub cut all of a sudden. No help from the big man defensively. All he needs is one step, layup and pass on the money.
Foster's got to protect the basket on that. He's guarding Aaron Williams, who's not a range shooter. He's got to protect the basket and make sure there's no layups.
Harris misses. Foster the rebound. Kevin Ollie in the game.
Big men are responsible to protect when people step up and set back picks. They've got to call them out, talk it out. Then the last thing is your job is protect the rim.
O'Neal rushed it. Foster keeps it alive, but a loose ball foul is going to go against the Pacers. And Foster picks up his second. And Austin Crozier is going to come into the game to a big cheer. Crozier's been kind of a forgotten man on this team, but he's going to get a chance with the foul problems.
This is your guy, Van Gundy. You said that he's going to come in the game tonight. He's going to have a huge night, and Isaiah's going to be happy that he used him.
I said he was going to dial 1-800-CROZIER for instant offense because they're going to struggle to score enough in the half court, and he can score points in bunches.
Jefferson powers in, but he stepped on the baseline. And the Pacers will get it back. Crozier didn't play at all in Game 3. He's only played 12 minutes in the series. And quite frankly, since the Pacers were in the NBA Finals against the Lakers, he's struggled since then as Johnson has called for a foul.
Signed a big contract, higher expectations. Maybe didn't deal with it as well as he should have.
But getting an opportunity here in an elimination game, Game 4. Pacers trail by 2, just over 3 minutes gone by, second quarter.
This is not a dream. This is not a fairy tale. And these are not humans. Mortal Kombat 9 Eastern tomorrow, only on TBS Superstation.
The new Dodge SXTs, CD sound, aluminum wheels, and some cash left over.
What's the date?
CD sound, wheels, up to $13.35 in package savings, plus our 7100 powertrain pledge, the Dodge SXTs.
I can hear her heartbeat from 1,000 miles. And when I come to her, that's where I belong.
American Express, how can I help you?
The network's switching over now.
Network, what's going on? Let's take a look, shall we?
The phone lines are down.
Voice, you take over. Switching to data. 3, 2.
Got it. Want to keep your business up and running? Genuity's Black Rocket combines voice and data on a single secure network. Genuity.
Nets by 2, second quarter of Game 4. ABA champion Indiana Pacers back in 1972. Who did they beat in that series? Yes, they beat the New Jersey Nets with Rick Barry, George McGinnis among the participants. As the Pacers won that series 4-2.
There's Billy Pauls, the Whopper. I had him in Atlanta, the hook shot.
One of the great nicknames. As they raise the trophy, Slick Leonard, the head coach. There's Slick holding up the trophy. Now a Pacers radio announcer. Enormously popular here in Indianapolis. And still loving to come into the basketball arena night in and night out. Kevin Ollie. Crozier tied up. Ollie lost it off his foot. 3-on-2 break now for the Nets. Williams, and a foul called on Ollie, so Aaron Williams will shoot 2.
Mike, that's their 11th turnover already in the first half. They only have gotten up 18 shots. They have, out of 29 possessions, 11 turnovers. That's not going to get it done in this type of game.
When you look at some of the other numbers, they're out rebounding the Nets 16-9. They're out shooting the Nets 44-36. The turnover is the great equalizer here.
Well, during regular season, this team was 23rd in the NBA in turnovers, but that number was just 15, just over 15 turnovers per game. So here they are already with 11, as you mentioned.
And averaging 17 a game throughout the playoffs, and that's 15th out of 16 playoff teams.
One area that it really shows up, when you turn the ball over a lot, you immediately go and look at field goal attempts. And right now, New Jersey has 7 more field goal attempts than Indiana does. More possessions, more shot attempts.
Williams doing a good job, and an offensive foul call. Jermaine O'Neal has just picked up his third.
So you talked about the defensive end, but there he picks up one at the offensive end, which you're not counting on. You rely on him to use his head, use good judgment when he goes after and tries to block shots. But here, just trying to get position, he sets a little screen on the move, and he picks up his third foul.
There wasn't a lot of contact, but he was moving to stop Johnson. He impeded his progress.
2 of his 3 fouls have come on screening, and in that play, Kevin Ollie's got to wait until he gets set. It was actually Ollie's fault, came off too early, and again, it started because they were sagging off Ollie, and he couldn't enter the ball into the low post.
You see the Nets now up by 3 with this run. All coming after that three-pointer from Lucius Harris to end the first. Anthony Johnson fires away. Brad Miller, who's back in, gets the rebound.
We may just start to see a series of screens now for Reggie Miller trying to get this guy going. Let's go back to those 2, 3, 4 screens for Reggie Miller to see if he can get a hot hand.
Miller just 1 of 6. Crozier, that's a 3. Austin Crozier.
1-800-CROZIER. But see, having a 4-man that can shoot the ball opens up the lane for your better players. And there are a lot of people in this league who can't shoot the ball, makes it very hard to play it.
Ollie gets it into Miller, and a foul. Not a smart play from Aaron Williams. And Brad Miller with a chance for the three-point play as the Pacers back up by 2.
New Jersey tried to run 2 back doors, 1 from the top of the circle and then 1 from the wing. The second one was a bad pass decision. It leads to a 3-on-2 fast break. Your point guard under control, makes the good decision, hits Miller, who finishes and goes to the line.
Kevin Ollie with that decision. Ollie was a nice part of the 76ers run to the NBA Finals, played in all their playoff games, so he has a lot of playoff experience. Not a lot of minutes, but he played at crucial times.
And right here's a crucial time for Indiana. They've got to make a run with Jason Kidd out. They've got to keep trying to build a lead because when he's in the game, New Jersey obviously is a much better team.
Anthony Johnson shooting quite a bit, knocks it down. Johnson has signed a 10-day contract, a couple of them, then the remainder of the season. He's on the team partly because of Eddie Jordan, the assistant coach, who liked him when he played for him in Sacramento. Crozier has it knocked away. Johnson. Harris is the trailer. All knocked out of bounds. Last touch by Jefferson.
Anthony Johnson did an outstanding job for John Kress at the College of Charleston. Very instrumental in those great 3-4 seasons in a row that John Kress had there with that team, where all of a sudden they'd pop up in the NCAA tournament and you didn't want to really play them in the first round.
No, and we had training camp for a number of years down at College of Charleston. We saw Anthony Johnson develop as a player through the years. Great kid, hard worker, and really, as you said, John Kress did a great job in developing him.
He thinks defense first, but he's doing some scoring here in the first half. Kevin Ollie on the pull-up. Martin brings it down. 6.5 remaining in the second quarter. Pacers by 1.
By the way, you just reminded me, you took that training camp from us. We used to use that in Atlanta, and then you took it after I was fired in Atlanta. So,
well, actually, we would have taken it anyway because, you know, obviously it's more prestigious to have the Knicks there. I'm just saying, you know, and Pat Riley than the Hawks and Fratello. I mean, I don't want to get personal, but
Ollie blocked, but a foul. I think you guys should settle this outside.
I'm offended.
So free throws coming up. McCullough and Jason Kidd will come back in. Kidd getting a nice rest. Almost 6 minutes as Anthony Johnson picks up his second foul, and Kevin Ollie will go to the line. Ollie playing for his 7th NBA team in just his 5th season. He has bounced around. Wasn't drafted out of UConn back in '95. Typical story of played a lot of time in the CBA, a bunch of 10-day contracts. Then has bounced around with Dallas, Orlando, Sacramento, Philly, Jersey, Chicago, and now Indy. He's been cut 6 different times by 5 different teams, but he continues to pursue and is now starting to be an important part of playoff teams.
The difference between some guys who make it after being in the CBA for that long and the guys that don't is the positive attitude. Not being bitter, not thinking that they're getting a raw deal. Keeping with it, sticking with it. And I really, as a coach, really appreciate what guys like Ollie have done.
Meanwhile, McCullough with the follow, and the Nets within 1.
They've got Jason Kidd on Reggie Miller now.
Crozier off the fake, spinning. Tough shot comes up short, and Harris the rebound. During the regular season, the Nets were 19-22 on the road. Not a great road record, but they won a number of big road games when they needed them. As Artest with the steal. Ron Artest slows down, wanted to draw a foul. Martin wisely backed off.
And Martin with 2 fouls, couldn't even think about trying to challenge that one. A good decision by Martin.
Artest second in the NBA in steals behind Allen Iverson during the regular season, and he's averaging over 2.5 in the postseason. Kidd fires away, and Artest the rebound.
Mike, with the turning over, so to say, of rosters in the NBA, we've entered this new era right now. When you think of playoff teams, how many of them are really veteran, experienced playoff teams? Even Utah, which just was eliminated with Stockton and Malone. You look at, who they have out there with them on the floor, Kalinko and Collins and all these new pieces that they've started. There aren't a lot of really seasoned teams in the league.
You just hope to have 1 or 2 guys who have it. A lot of rookies getting starts in the postseason. We've got a timeout. Just under 4.5 remaining second quarter. Pacers facing elimination. Lead the Nets by 3.
The 200 horsepower Chrysler Sebring convertible. Exclusively from Chrysler, our 7-year, 100,000-mile powertrain pledge, because love is a commitment.
Bringing us closer. Making us stronger. Impacting our lives in remarkable ways. Tech TV, the new television network about technology. Tech TV, television about technology.
Tech TV is available now on DirecTV, channel 354.
You want to watch a big show on DirecTV, but your day is so busy you think it's not gonna be. You gotta drop the kids and the dog needs a walk, and when the really good part comes, that's when your mama calls to talk. But just look for the all-day ticket and pay once. And when you're ready, you can pick it. All day till 6 a.m. Eastern. So when you're watching a show and you really gotta go, just get all-day ticket. And when you're ready, you can pick it. You know what I'm saying? All-day ticket.
The NBA playoffs on TBS are brought to you by Bud Light. For the great taste that won't fill you up and never let you down, make it a Bud Light. And by Chrysler. Drive equals love.
From John Grisham, author of The Firm.
If I tell the truth, he'll kill me.
Susan Sarandon.
Why should he talk if we can't protect him?
Tommy Lee Jones.
Trying to ruin this boy's life and just flat out get him killed.
The Client. 7 Eastern, Saturday night on TBS Superstation.
We'd like to extend a happy birthday to Isaiah Thomas, who turns 41 today. He is a Taurus, and his horoscope said it's time to get rid of the things that are no longer working to your advantage. You need a change of scenery. How about New Jersey later on tonight? Focus on yourself, your intentions, and your goals. And guys, there were a couple numbers in his stars. 13, which is the number of turnovers his team has, and 31, which is Reggie Miller's number, who we know could be a factor come down the stretch run.
Well, D, he's 1 of 7 thus far, so we'll see how it works out as Artest rejects it out of bounds. Happy birthday, Isaiah Thomas.
D, later on, let me know what Jeff's reads, okay? I'm curious.
Artest comes flying in for the rebound. 5 boards for Ron Artest. Martin is on him. 2 very good young defenders. Shot clock winding down. Miller takes a peek and now decides to put it up. McCullough gets a hand up, and Kittle's the rebound. Jason Kidd also just 1 of 7 from the field. Gets a pass inside, though, and another assist as McCullough knocks it down. winner of this series will play the Charlotte Hornets. Hornets winning tonight in Orlando. Beat the Magic in 4 games. Artest inside. And he draws the foul. It will be the 4th team foul against the Nets. Keith Van Horn picks up his 2nd.
If you're Jersey right now, you're saying to yourself, you know what, we're in a 1-point game, 3 minutes to go before the half. We're shooting 35% from the floor and 57% from the foul line. We're in good shape to just straighten a couple things out, like make a couple open shots once in a while.
And conversely for Indiana, they've got to feel good that they're up 1, having turned the ball over 13 times already. It's hard to be ahead turning the ball over that number of times.
You know what the turnovers have done, Jeff? It's taken the crowd out of the game. There's not that up and down action. They keep stopping it because the ball goes out of bounds. This crowd should be on the edge of its seat knowing it's an elimination game for them, yet they're sitting there because they keep turning the ball over and there's no action for them.
Artest puts up the jumper. Will he get the bounce? No. And Martin the rebound. You have 23 total fouls plus the 22 total turnovers. And you don't have a great pace. Martin, good defense from Crozier. Kidd nearly with a steal. The numbers for the Pacers, and Kevin Ollie set up Artest beautifully.
Reggie Miller was running the left lane. He veered right to the corner for a 3 and let Artest have that lane for the layup.
Indiana back up by 3. Artest with 9 points and 5 rebounds. Strong first half for him. Martin spinning, loves that jump hook.
He loves to drive it left. He's a right-handed player, again, likes to drive it to his opposite hand, spin back. He's got a very good right-hand jump hook.
Miller spinning against McCullough. Good defense from Todd McCullough, got a piece of it. And then a loose ball foul is going to go against Artest, and that would be Artest's 3rd. So Ron Artest with 3, Jermaine O'Neal with 3. And the Pacers pick up their 14th foul, but they still lead by 1. Just under 2 minutes remaining, 2nd quarter, game 4 from Indianapolis.
Chili's Mushroom Jack Fajitas with grilled chicken, jack cheese, and smoky bacon. Wow.
Told you if we showed up late, we'd never find a place to sit.
Check it out.
Dude, we're so close we can practically taste the action.
Bud Light is proud to sponsor 7-time Supercross champion Jeremy McGrath.
Hi, Rob.
Oh, hey, Miss Larson.
Nice caravan.
Thanks.
I used to have a van.
I can't believe my dad let you drive the Viper.
Yeah, well, I got into him.
Dodge Caravan, offering a power sliding door, a power rear hatch, and the kind of room you'll really dig. Grab Dodge's 7/100 powertrain pledge. Ford, GM, Toyota, and Honda don't match it.
Chili's Southwestern Egg Rolls, where East meets Southwest.
Experience NBA.com on America Online. See the best action shots and off-the-court photos every night at America Online. Keyword NBA.com.
This is not a dream. This is not a fairy tale. And these are not humans. Mortal Kombat, 9 Eastern, tomorrow, only on TBS Superstation.
EJ in Atlanta earlier tonight, Baron Davis's 2nd consecutive triple-double as Charlotte beat Orlando 102-85 to advance to the Eastern Conference semifinals. Was it the last game of Patrick Ewing's career?
So Patrick Ewing, you don't know yet what's going to happen. He means to you as much as any player you've coached.
Absolutely, and I've never been as proud of him as I am this year. He had a double-double tonight, which is great. But when he had his first DNP-CD a couple weeks back, I called him and said, I am so proud of you because you've handled a lesser role with grace and dignity, which is just as important as handling your greatness, which is obviously one of the top players. I couldn't be more proud of him. If he decides to retire, that's great. If he decides to play, he can still contribute in a lesser way to a good team through his solid work ethic and loyalty to the team, his teammates, and his coaches.
He has hinted that it may be his last year, but hasn't officially said it's got another year with the Magic down in Orlando.
Now, if you know Pat, he's not going to give up money easy. I'm going to tell you that.
Crozier and McCullough the foul. Austin Crozier forces McCullough to pick up his third, and Crozier has been a nice little spark off the bench.
I can't say anything other than the fact that our man called it early today. He said this was going to be the important move, putting Austin Crozier in the game, that he would respond with the offense, and he's done it.
The thing I like about him coming in off the bench is, for a team like Indiana who struggles to score enough in the half court, he can get you points in bunches, and he's an underrated defender and rebounder. He's got more toughness down there than people would think.
Wouldn't you say it's difficult for a guy like Austin, who had the great season prior to signing that big contract, then suddenly comes this turnaround of the team, new players coming in, they do the trade at the last minute. His self-confidence has dropped a tremendous amount. When he was on a roll, he played with an extreme amount of confidence. Suddenly now, seldom used at times, he starts to doubt himself.
Absolutely, shot without hesitation. Now a little doubt creeps in. It's hard to play well with inconsistent minutes.
Foster with the steal. Crozier had 5 points combined in the first 3 games. He's got 5 points here in the first half of game 4. Final minute of the second quarter. Pacers leading by 3. Largest lead by either team is 6. Reggie Miller knocks it down. Miller cold early, but it's that one. He's got 6 points. Pacers by 5.
Critical last couple possessions going into the half. Into the first quarter, Pacers with the ball up 6, turn it over 3. They've got to go in with a cushion to withstand New Jersey's early third quarter run.
Kittles can't connect. Kittles struggling from the field continues. Of course, he hit the huge 3, maybe the biggest shot of the series, but overall was not shot well. And the crowd now starting to get into it a bit. A standing ovation here at Conseco. It's about a 5.5-second difference between shot and game clock. Miller. Brad Miller. Rebound Foster, but he lost it to Aaron Williams. Plenty of time to get off a shot. Kittles looking up. Kittles. Crozier got a piece of it, and that will do it. Austin Crozier with another nice play for the Indiana Pacers, who are hoping to stay alive. And despite very sloppy play with turnovers, they lead by 5. And right now, let's go to Dean Lynham.
Thanks much, Ron. You were finally able to get some things going for yourself offensively. Is it helping your game at both ends of the floor?
Yeah, a little bit, because I've been playing so much defense, I forgot to play offense. So now I'm just trying to, you know, it's a must-win game for us. So I'm just going to got to play both ends. Got to play offense and defense.
Can your team win this game if it stays as ugly as it has with all the turnovers?
We're going to win. We got to win. We must win. We don't want to go home. So we're going to play hard and come out the second half, try to put them away.
Ron, thanks for your time. Good luck in that second half.
Sorry.
Mike?
All right, a fine, solid start for the Indiana Pacers despite the 13 turnovers. They lead the New Jersey Nets 38-33 right now. Let's head to Atlanta. And we go to Ernie Johnson.
All right, thank you, Mike. AT&T halftime report. Ernie Johnson, Kenny the Jet Smith, Peter Vesey, and Avery Johnson, who's our guest tonight. 38-33, by far the lowest scoring first half of this series so far. Indiana trying to stay alive, and they're up by 5. Jason Kidd, 4 points, no rebounds, 3 assists. Not easy to keep Jason Kidd off the glass. What's Indiana doing to control Jason Kidd in this game?
Well, Ernie, I just think they're putting more focus on him. And I think when they put Ron Mercer in the game, I think that's helped out quite a bit, because I think Jason Kidd is a tough cover for Jamal Tinsley. So they're paying a lot more attention to Jason Kidd. You got to keep him out of the paint. You got to try to force him to shoot jump shots, which is not an easy thing to do.
How about it, Jet? It's a 5-point game.
Let's go to Peter because he has some video.
Hey,
I like
what
to
a
see
guy.
Peter.
What a
I
guy.
want to see Peter because he told me that he was going to have video. So I want to see what he has.
I think we're making history tonight.
Wow.
We're making history.
No, I did this once. First of all, though, I disagree with. I think Jason Kidd's just off. now let's get into your breakdown of the first
Well,
half.
you know, I thought that the Nets were on a roll. At the end of that first quarter, they'd open up a 22-16 lead. And I know from being around the Pacers a lot this year that Reggie Miller is always scolding Jamal Tinsley for not taking chances like Reggie Miller does right here. With about 8 seconds to go, he throws a pass to Brad Miller out of bounds. No reason to take that risk. You want to play for one shot. And then what happens? The Nets come back down court, and Harris throws in one off the board. You know, it's a 5-point swing. They could have gone up 24, maybe 25-16. Instead, it's cut to 22-18. 22-19, three-pointer. And they never recovered from that until the end of the second quarter.
Your
Not
impressions,
bad?
Your impressions not only of the first half, but of his
Yeah,
breakdown.
yeah. You want to rate it?
I'm impressed. On a scale of 1 to 10, it was on the scale. But
It's on the scale?
No, you know what? The one thing I did see that Isaiah did differently, he played his point guards. And I'm affectionate to point guards playing their minutes. And in last game, he put Ron Mercer, who was generally known as a two-guard or a small forward, played him at the point. And I think that was one of the reasons why Jason Kidd also got off and was able to get into the mix, because there wasn't a point guard on the floor to settle things down for Indiana. This time, Kevin Ollie, Jamal Tinsley, one of them had been on the floor the whole time.
Well, Mercer went in at one point. They did play two guards, Kenny, just Mercer and Miller, definitely at one point. If we have time, I would definitely love to get into that Crozier stuff with the two coaches who are on courtside.
We'll see.
All right. We'll
it's
talk about
it's a 5-point game at the half. Nobody has double figures in this game. Ron Artest has 9 to lead Indiana. When we come back, you know, the winner of this series knows who they're going to get. They're going to get Baron Davis. They're going to get the Charlotte Hornets, who put away the Magic tonight. Highlights coming up.
Tracy McGrady just told me he guarantees a victory in Game 5.
The AT&T Halftime Report is brought to you by AT&T, proud sponsor of the NBA.
Encourage a lifelong love of reading. Read to achieve.
Gotta be me. Whether I'm right, whether I'm wrong, whether I find a place in this world or never belong, I've got to be me. I've got to be me. What else can I be but what I am? I've got to be me.
There are some things money can't buy. For everything else, there's MasterCard. Except that everywhere dogs are.
Just so I understand, is it a chip?
I hesitate to call it a chip.
And it fuels the internet?
Helps to fuel. It helps to fuel the internet.
Is it like software?
Software is a really weird word.
That's a weird word.
Do you guys have a website?
Yeah, we have one under construction.
You have a website.
Oh, so you're on the web, the World Wide Web.
This is fantastic.
I think we'd be idiots not to fund this. Really?
The new E-Trade. More of what you need to stay ahead in today's economy. E-Trade Financial.
No time for a splitting headache. I needed strong pain relief fast. So I took control with Advil Liquid Gels. Liquid-filled capsules that relieve tough pain faster than Tylenol. And nothing, not Excedrin, not Aleve, nothing's proven stronger on pain than Advil Liquid Gels. My headache was gone, fast.
You have the strength to get rid of pain fast. Take control. Take Advil. And to help you take control of your child's fever fast, there's Children's Advil and Infant's Advil.
Excuse me, where'd you get the blimp?
Oh, I bought a set of Goodyear tires.
I want some Goodyear tires.
Okay, honey.
Did you just move the blimp?
No.
At Sears Auto Center, all Goodyear tires are 10 to 30% off, so you can get exactly what you want at the lowest prices of the season. Sears, where else?
Sounds like a good thing. Budget is really working hard to improve truck rental.
Yeah, rates starting in 1995.
And a service where our movers help load and unload the trucks.
Can we make load and unload even better?
Roller skates to make the move even faster. Hmm? They don't need roller skates. Yeah, no, not roller skates, but load and unload. Think the load and unload. Is that your idea? That's a terrific idea.
Welcome back to the AT&T Halftime Report. If you missed game one of our doubleheader, man, you missed Baron Davis doing it again to the Orlando Magic. Another triple-double.
This is why I call him the bodyguard, Ernie. He gets in the lane, uses his body, goes up, too strong, too quick.
You know what I call him, Kenny?
Tell me.
The lifeguard.
Hey, Tracy McGrady averaged 31 points in this series, had at least 30 in the last 3 games, 35 tonight. Not enough, though. Barron over Darrell Armstrong for 3. It's over for Tracy McGrady and the Magic, 102 to 85. Baron Davis goes for 28, 11, and 10. McGrady goes for 35 and 6. But Charlotte advances. Orlando is done, and there was a question for the guy who had made the guarantee of a Game 5.
What happened to the guarantee?
We failed. It's all good, you know, just having fun with it. It was a must-win situation for us, so I wasn't ready for a vacation, and my team wasn't, so I had to guarantee it. And we failed, so what? You know, we'll come back next year.
Everybody on our team read his comments and read what was said, and I think it kind of fueled us. It got us in the mindset that, hey, we're going to take it to him. And tonight, you know, it was just a great ball game. It was real physical. Guys really took it personal, and I'm glad that we came out with the victory.
The Charlotte Hornets go into this series with their leading scorer, Jamal Mashburn, going 0 for 6 and leaving the court sick in Game 1, never plays again. And they win it in 4 over the Orlando Magic, Kenny.
No surprise, a team that I'm projecting to get to the Eastern Conference Finals and win it.
Wow. Tonight you're doing that?
What do you mean? No, wow. I said that was the first thing
That's
we
like
asked
the most
me.
fashionable pick.
No, he asked me day one on the opening playoff show. So I'm not really surprised.
I hate to tell you, everybody picked.
Not everybody is not as smart
Everybody's
as I am,
picking
though.
Charlotte over
They
New
don't know
Jersey.
why they're picking them. I'm going to tell you why. Because I think that every position, if you look at, they have people that you don't have a clear advantage on. You might have a small advantage against Baron Davis one night. You don't have a clear advantage. David Wesley, Jamal when he's back, Mashburn. You have Eldon Campbell, McGlure. All of these guys, they can hold their own, even against the quality best players like Tracy McGrady.
McGlure might get a game.
You never know. 19-5 before he got kicked out.
So now they will know why they picked Charlotte.
What do you think?
Charlotte is a tough team. I think in the playoffs, your point guard position is very important. And Baron Davis is playing as well as anybody except Steve Nash in the NBA.
There you go.
Spoken with a true Dallas slant to it. Now, a couple of questions about here. Go ahead.
I'm just not sure that Mashburn's going to be back anytime soon.
Silas didn't sound real encouraging.
Illness
about
like
him
that.
after the
I was
game.
around the team the other day. An illness like that. I mean, he might need about a month to 6 weeks recovery. It really takes a lot out of you. I will say, I heard that they're lining up. They're camping out actually at the Hive for tickets for the next round. And the Magic had moved to New Orleans.
Yeah.
So.
You missed
Yeah,
it. You were
very good.
waiting.
No, look, I got a couple of questions for you.
Crozier?
Baron Davis. No, Baron Davis. Last time somebody had 2 triple-doubles in a first-round series. Anybody?
Sounds like
Mickey Mantle.
No, Kevin Garnett in 2000 had 2 triple-doubles in the first round. Last guy to have back-to-back triple-doubles in a playoff series.
Magic Johnson.
Magic.
Larry Bird.
Magic Johnson, 1984, in the finals, lost to Boston.
Whatever happened to Magic?
He was in here the other night
Was he?
making cogent points.
Was he?
He certainly was. You were here.
Yeah, Magic was good.
As I recall, he was.
He was
actually
great.
good.
He was actually great. If I had a team right now, seriously, I'd hire him to run the team.
Hey, Peter, what'd you want to say about
And
Austin
I'd vote
Crozier?
for mayor of L.A., too.
What'd you want to say about
Nothing.
Austin Crozier? 3,
Nothing.
2, 1.
You weren't going to get me this time. You weren't even going to get me.
We weren't technically a garage band since we practiced in a barn. We still make a lot of noise, only now it's on the phone.
Introducing AT&T Unlimited.
Luckily, I pay one flat rate and we talk till we're hoarse.
$19.95 a month for unlimited long-distance calls to any AT&T residential long-distance customer. Call all you want, whenever you want, and never watch the clock.
I love them, but I'm not going to pay a lot to listen to them. Nobody ever did.
Call 1-800-REACH-OUT to enroll.
Hey, you want to see how powerful Sunkist really is? Watch this. Oh, girls. This might take a while. Sunkist, experience the charge.
My whole family's on America Online.
AOL keeps me in touch with my daughter who's away at grad school.
I write my mom a lot. She has AOL.
I get to share pictures with my sisters.
My college buddies on my buddy list. My brothers are on my buddy list.
AOL is very easy to use.
It's like a community.
The parental controls help me safeguard my kids.
I keep in touch with my cousins and my grandparents.
AOL brings the world to you.
America Online has stuff you won't find anywhere else.
America Online, so easy to use, no wonder it's #1. Call 1-800-4ONLINE.
Keeps us connected. It's the best thing we ever did.
Frank? Where's your father? Upstairs. Frank! Have you seen your father? Thank you.
All over Dublin, Ohio, people are disappearing.
Frank?
Only to reappear at Wendy's.
Chicken nuggets, please.
Those crispy pieces of all white meat cooked golden brown are so delicious, they're irresistible.
You looking for me?
Nice. You still have barbecue sauce on your shirt.
The 99-cent chicken nuggets at Wendy's.
Who told?
It's better here. Remember, Wendy's pickup windows open late so you can eat great, even late.
With Big Mac no longer on the menu.
Back goes Andrews.
He made the catch. The Braves hope to feast on the Cards in St. Louis. Slam! It's out of here. Braves Cardinals, 8 Eastern Friday on TBS Superstation.
Welcome back to the AT&T Halftime Report. Tomorrow night, for your playoff viewing pleasure, the Celtics and Sixers playing game for the Spurs without Tim Duncan. His father died in North Carolina Monday. He will not be with the team. They take on the Sonics in Game 4 tomorrow night. And then Thursday, the Raptors and the Pistons play Game 5. And if they need a Game 5 in this series, you'll see the Pacers and the Nets. They're going to the third quarter, and Indiana's up by 5.
The AT&T Halftime Report has been brought to you by AT&T, proud sponsor of the NBA.
Encourage a lifelong love of reading. Read to achieve.
I won a gold and silver medal at the Winter Olympics. He showed me how to use this thing.
I brought home the gold.
She helped me get rid of my grubs.
I won the silver.
He taught me the importance of primer.
My team won the gold.
She helped me find one of those flappy things.
Our associates do great things every day. To join the team, give the Home Depot a call.
You called?
Oh, hey, I had an idea. What if we give people wireless networks so they can access the internet from nearly anywhere in their home, and we do it for just $5.99?
That's good, but do it for $4.99, installed.
Okay.
Oh, and Teddy, next time, just email me.
I need a car. No, a convertible, a red one, with under 15,000 miles.
Autotrader.com. With 2 million new or used cars, you can find the one you really want. And with millions of shoppers, you can sell the one you already have. It's the ultimate automotive classified site. Autotrader.com. Your car is waiting.
Of all the minivans available today, only one comes with the government's highest 5-star safety rating, a 10-year warranty, and a starting price of under $20,000. The Kia Sedona. Pretty impactful, isn't it? Right now, get 0% APR financing on the 2002 Kia Sedona.
How do you survive an avalanche without getting swept away? Find out this July.
At Michelin, our tires are rigorously tested. They're laser checked, X-rayed for structural integrity. And finally, no tire leaves the factory without a thorough hand inspection. Michelin, because so much is riding on your tires.
The Ultimate Fighting Championship presents UFC High Impact. It's a full night of the most intense full-contact fighting in the world. Every bout is a high-impact collision course. Takedowns, strikes, and submissions. UFC High Impact. Friday, May 10th. Live on Direct Ticket.
Looking for this week's top choices in premium movies and sports? Take a shortcut. Turn to DirecTV Movies this week and DirecTV Sports this week for the week's hottest premium movies. It's flawless. And the inside scoop on your favorite sports action. Watch DirecTV Movies this week and DirecTV Sports this week on channels 212 and 500. Cool. Don't miss the best in movies and sports from DirecTV.
This copyrighted telecast of the National Basketball Association is intended solely for the entertainment of our audience, and any retransmission, reproduction, rebroadcast, or other use of dissemination of this telecast, or the pictures, descriptions, or accounts of this game without the express written consent of the National Basketball Association is prohibited.
Halftime of Game 4, Pacers facing elimination, lead the New Jersey Nets 38-33, and head coach Isaiah Thomas trying to urge them on to keep the season going as we listen to tonight's Lamisil Inside Tracks.
From one shot, they contest every shot. Contest every shot. No free shots, all right? No free shots. Get every rebound.
Well, he's got to be happy with the defense, as did a good job there, but 13 turnovers has his team leading by 5 with that kind of number, Mike.
Well, I said in the beginning of the game that we could expect Miller to get his 20 to 25 and O'Neal to do his share. Well, they haven't. He's just 2 for 8, Miller, 6 points. 3 fouls on O'Neal, just 6 points. You know what the key is? Artest, Brad Miller, and Crozier have combined for 20 points in the first half. Coming into tonight, they're combining for 22 for the entire game. So they're way up there helping out their team.
Meanwhile, with New Jersey, Jason Kidd, who's been such a spark, there's something missing, at least in the first half.
Well, there's not one positive stat or any one player that's played as well as they're capable of. Kidd's an assist man. You can't pass the ball to people if they're not making shots and get assists. So he only has 3. But this is the ultimate hang-around game. Played poorly in almost every area except their defense was solid. That's kept them around. This is the type of game that you can win if you just hang in there and make one great run.
You saw our Home Depot game summary. Those turnovers really stand out. 13 for Indiana and 11 for New Jersey. As the Nets will bring it up. Kidd in that first half just 1 of 8. Didn't have a rebound. Had 3 assists and 2 turnovers. Only 4 points for Jason Kidd. He's been leading the team in all 3 scoring, rebounding, and assists. Kittles gets inside. Count it and 1. Reggie Miller not happy with the call. But Kittles will get a chance for a 3-point play.
Kerry Kittle's the ability to put the ball on the floor, steps back inside of Reggie Miller, and then just a little tap on the side of the head is enough to get the basket and the whistle.
And I liked what New Jersey did that time. Even though the ball didn't go into the post to Van Horn, they gave him a look in there against Artest. 3 fouls, a small forward. Van Horn's a legit 6'10". He's got to get in that post more.
Martin is back on O'Neal. Again, Kenyon Martin with 3 fouls. Brad Miller gets it deep in the post and gets the roll. So a 5-point lead for the Indiana Pacers. Let's check in now with the lineup, D.
I'll start with New Jersey. Byron Scott saying we were soft, we were awful, we did not match their intensity. We got to act like we want it instead of waiting for Game 5. Isaiah Thomas opting to go with Kevin Ollie, who in 10 minutes had 3 assists to 0 turns. Jamal Tinsley had 1 assist to 4 turns. We'll see how it works out, Mike.
Reggie Miller with a 2D on that one, and the Pacers back up by 7. Actually, this is their largest lead of the game.
Again, Kerry Kittles lost contact with Reggie Miller. Tried to shortcut the screens instead of stay on his body and get no separation. That's all Miller needs, is a split second.
You don't want your coaches, D. Lynam reported, telling you at halftime you're soft and awful. As Martin misses the jump hook, and here comes Ron Artest. Artest playing a very strong game for the Pacers. That's a 3, puts it in. Ron Artest from downtown, and a 10-point lead for Indiana.
I'm watching the coaching staff on Indiana's bench right now. They're scratching their head and looking down at the floor with a little chuckle. That means that's not the norm. Even Isaiah's getting a chuckle out of that one.
McCullough with a nice move to momentarily quiet the crowd. That ends a 7-0 run. A quick start here in the third quarter for the Pacers. Artest, meanwhile, 12 points and 7 boards. Nice feed to Miller, and Kittles got beat.
Artest doing it all, making jumpers, lead the fast break, and now with an assist.
Miller in double figures with 10. Pacers have not missed a shot yet here in this third quarter. 4 for 4 from the field. Martin, quick move, and Jermaine O'Neal has picked up his 4th foul, and he can't believe it. Martin, a smart play going right at O'Neal.
And then he tried to step underneath, brought his arms up to try and initiate the contact. He's putting the ball down with his left hand. Once he starts to lean in and he feels he's got O'Neal up in the air, he draws right into him, draws the contact with his arms by bringing him up low underneath.
And that play, O'Neal has got to pull his hands back to make Martin finish the shot instead of being able to bail him out. When Martin drives left, he doesn't want to finish going left. He wants to spin back going to his right. He's got to see if he can finish that shot with his left hand.
So O'Neal's going to sit down for a while. Played just 17 minutes in that first half, and now picks up his 4th. Martin not shooting well. The Nets as a team just 35%. 8-point Indiana lead.
Sometimes players forget that they can run the baseline after that made free throw opportunity and throw an inbounds pass unless there's a violation where they have to have a stationary pass. So they wind up standing still and they can't get a good angle to make the entry pass. They need to get a turnover or you get a steal or something like that.
I think Artest is thinking about his next 3-point attempt. Was a little preoccupied. Artest with Martin on him. Kevin Ollie in the game to start the second half. Artest, nice move, couldn't finish. And Jamal Tinsley had 4 turnovers in the first half, battling the knee problems. Kenyon Martin avoids Brad Miller beautifully. He's got excellent body control. 6-point Pacer lead. A victory for Indiana forces a Game 5 on Thursday. A victory for New Jersey, and they'll face Charlotte in the next round. Miller misses. Van Horn the rebound. Here comes Jason Kidd. Nice feed ahead to Kittles. And just like that, it's a 4-point game.
Indiana might want to think about a timeout. Come back in there. They came out like gangbusters to start the second half, and now all of a sudden they've given up a couple easy baskets. You've got Jersey right back in the game again.
A 6-0 run by the Nets. Kevin Ollie. Crozier looked to shoot before he caught it. Miller trying to get it back. Good hands from Miller. And Miller, again, with the body contortions, drawing the foul. And Kittles picks up the personal.
Talk about a 36-year-old getting after it in the playoffs on the floor. Reggie Miller comes up with it, and then the hard contact. The one hand. What strength that player must have in his hand to throw Reggie that way.
Part of his experience. 15th year in the league. And you have to say over the past, obviously 15 years outside of Michael Jordan, has there been a better 2-guard in the league over that stretch?
Well, certainly not as one as consistent, but I always wondered, do referees do scouting reports too on who's in the game? Like Miller flops like that and he constantly gets the call. Don't officials know he's doing that?
Well, he didn't get that call. He now has 3.
I'm talking about the one before.
I know.
Don't try to hang me out to dry on my point.
Steve Javy, Tom Washington, and Tim Donahue, the officials tonight. He certainly does it better than anyone. Although Vlade Divac's very good. We saw Karl Malone and Divac do that quite a bit in the series. Miller nearly the steal. Boy, players fall all over the place. Kidd for 3. He continues to struggle from 3-point range, and Van Horn stepped out of bounds. Jason Kidd is 2 for 15 from three-point range in the series. And right now 1 of 9 in this game. He hit his first shot, so he's missed 8 in a row. Crozier, Artest goes right at Van Horn, blocked by McCullough. McCullough with his 3rd block shot. Kittles, Martin with a fancy pass, and Kidd able to finish.
I have to say that's pretty impressive from Kenyon Martin. He winds up filling the middle spot. On the reversal, he goes with a behind-the-back pass to Jason Kidd, who finishes with his left hand.
An 8-0 run by the Nets.
This all starts with defense, and as Byron Scott said, I think our defense is overlooked because our defense gets us going in the fast break. And here's a prime example. Martin behind the back to Kidd.
Why spend a little more for a John Deere lawn tractor? The same reason you spend a little more time working on your yard. Because at the end of the day, it's worth it. The award-winning John Deere LT Series. Welded frames for durability, professional cut quality, exceptional versatility, and the support of thousands of knowledgeable John Deere professionals nationwide. The John Deere LT Series. Nothing runs like a Deere.
Hi. Sorry I'm late.
Hey, here we go.
What's the book?
I don't know. Kind of same old, same old. Have you read anything interesting lately?
Yeah, actually I have.
What is it?
Well, you've read the Bible, right?
Yeah.
Well, this is the Book of Mormon. It's a companion to the Bible. It's another testament of Jesus Christ.
You can now have your own free copy of the Book of Mormon just by calling this number.
I was looking for something moving and uplifting, and this is it.
Tell me more.
I just feel so peaceful when I'm reading it, and I'm kinder to others, and I have more confidence. It's completely transformed my life.
To receive your own free copy of the Book of Mormon, just call this number. It's a gift from the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints.
And let me know how you like it. Okay. I think you will.
The NBA playoffs on TBS are brought to you by John Deere. Nothing runs like a Deere. By Circuit City. We know how you feel. That's why we're here. Circuit City. We're with you. And by the NBA. The playoffs continue. Love it live.
From John Grisham, author of The Firm.
If I tell the truth, he'll kill me.
Susan Sarandon.
Why should he talk if we can't protect him?
Tommy Lee Jones.
He's trying to ruin this boy's life and just flat out get him killed.
The Client, 7 Eastern, Saturday night on TBS Superstation.
New Jersey Nets on an 8-0 run, and they trail by 2. Nets this season won a franchise record, 52 wins, won the Atlantic Division, #1 seed, home court throughout the East. Then they lost game 1. Everybody said, "Oh, they're not ready for the playoffs." It's amazing how, from one game to the next, the perception of teams in the series goes.
One possession can make the difference in perception. You know, I mean, this is a shot Crozier's got to make.
And he does. Another one for Crozier. 8 points for Crozier. He had 5 combined in the first 3 games.
It's a little ridiculous. I mean, he listens to you and he does things like, "Go make shots. He's got to make this." When you were missing this morning, were you in the shoot around with this team? Is that how you know all this stuff?
Just call me the prophet.
Kittles can't make it. And Ali comes the other way. 5-point Indiana lead. Just over 6.5 remaining in the third. Artest wanting the ball. Kittles trying to deny him in the post, but they can't get it to him. There's the pass from Miller. Nice feed from Reggie Miller.
Ron Artest is too strong for Kittles. He gets Kittles down low inside. Kittles has a lot of problems.
Artest, 14 points, 7 rebounds, and 3 assists. Game slowing down to the pace that Indiana would prefer. Artest knocks it away. Artest at both ends. 2-on-1 break. Ali, perfect pass to Miller. That's the way to lead a 2-on-1 break.
Correct. He made Jason Kidd commit all the way to him instead of passing too early, where Kidd could have played both players.
So after 8 straight points by the Nets, Indiana responds with 7 in a row, and they're back up by 9. And the crowd back into the game.
The one thing I don't like right now is Ron Artest with 3 fouls on Kenyon Martin. They can ill afford him to get a fourth to go along with O'Neal.
And Kidd misses another. Mason Kidd just 2 of 11 from the field. Crozier. Miller trying to clear out. He wants to take McCullough. Makes his move, and a foul on McCullough before the shot. Only be the second team foul, but the 4th on McCullough.
Mike, we saw that picture-perfect fast break a few seconds ago, and if you think back to what we had said, we'll see the drop step right now as suddenly he tries to turn the corner. He does not hook him offensively like it may have looked initially like Miller wrapped that arm around, but you can see he did not hook him. But I was talking about fast break points. Coming into this game, the first 3 games of the series, Nets advantage 56-21. So far tonight, 16-14 advantage for the Pacers in transition.
Ollie on the pull-up. Kevin Ollie puts it in. Largest lead of the game for the Pacers, a 9-0 run. They're up 11. Martin rushed it. Good hustle for Martin to try and keep it alive, but he knocked it out of bounds. And the crowd very much into this one. Miller trying to get them even more.
Would you expect New Jersey to take a timeout here?
Well, you just said close the thing back, you know, from being down 11, 12 points. You brought it back to a 4-point game. Once Indy gets their run again, take a timeout to stop this thing, get the crowd sitting back down.
Indiana Pacers looking to force a game 5 Thursday in New Jersey. Dangerous pass. Crozier again.
You are the prophet.
Crozier has doubled his point total of the first 3 games with 10 points here in game 4. Timeout, New Jersey.
Well, this guy is giving him some lift tonight. The minute he stood up to come in the game, the crowd was behind him, and he certainly has produced.
An 11-0 run by the Pacers.
Just not good with the ladies, like you said, Rick.
All right. Try this on her. Hi, I'm Paul. You have beautiful eyes.
Hi, I'm Paul, and you have beautiful eyes.
I'd love to take you out sometime.
Love to take you out sometime.
So how much?
So how much?
For the great taste that won't fill you up and never lets you down, make it a Bud Light.
The first major advance for the fastest treatment of athlete's foot is Lamisil AT. Lamisil AT is the first non-prescription medicine proven to kill the fungus with just 1 week's use. Not even a prescription can beat that. Lotrimin AF and Tinactin still expect you to treat for 4 weeks. Who's gonna do that? When your feet itch and burn, using Lamisil AT 1 week keeps you athlete's foot free 3 months. Lamisil AT. There's no better way to cure athlete's foot.
The Rock rules. Catch this. The Scorpion King is the #1 movie in America. With non-stop rock-solid action, this film rocks. The Scorpion King, rated PG-13, now playing.
Once again, Michelin owners have spoken, and we've swept the J.D. Power and Associates Awards for customer satisfaction. Now that's worth celebrating. Okay, back to work.
The closer you get, the more extreme it gets. The most extreme V-twins on the planet. VTX from Honda.
All right, games like tonight, elimination game for the Pacers brings out all the wild guys. Bill Walton in attendance in his deadhead shirt, I like to say, and so is Sign Man. He has the Pacer jersey over the tie-dye, but I want to know, you've been a long-time Pacer season ticket holder. How and why the signs?
Well, I like to write down what people would think, and like tonight, ostentatious. Austin Crozier's bringing us back in the game, and I just write what people want to think.
This one looks like it's been around a while. Do you save them all?
Oh, yeah, I've got hundreds of them in my garage. I got a whole room here with 50 of them in the arena, and I got some that I put up my ceiling.
All right, well, good luck to you guys now.
See you in New Jersey on Thursday.
All right, there you go.
All
This
right.
guy lives in Florida, Mike, but he's the season ticket holder here.
Thank you, Dee. See, Jeff, you and Sign Guy have a lot in common. You're both fans of Austin Crozier.
I don't live in Florida, but I'm very impressed with Crozier and a rebound.
Kidd, meanwhile, another miss. Jason Kidd, 2 of 12. Remember, he came in shooting 47% for the series, was really shooting the ball well.
But he can have nights like that.
Crozier draws the foul.
And still play well, but he needs the other guys, if he's not shooting it well, for him to play well to make shots. And no one for them is making shots.
Van Horn with his 3rd foul, and Crozier to the free throw line.
Austin Crozier with 2 shots for your Pacers.
Crozier 3 of 4 from the field. And now with a chance, he's 2 for 2 from the line. Really came into the game, got the minutes because of early foul trouble, and he has responded.
Excellent free throw shooter. Shot 85% for the regular season.
And when he makes that jump shot, he's got a good deceptive first step. Guys have to play the jumper. They come and crowd him. He puts it down on the floor, gets himself to the free throw line.
Crozier during the regular season averaged just under 7 points per game. His minutes are about 17 minutes. And again, with the trade, the acquisition of Artest and Brad Miller, his minutes have dropped even further. They're playing big-time minutes here in Game 4. Kenyon Martin hard to the glass, and he draws the foul. 13 straight points by the Indiana Pacers with 3:53 remaining in the 3rd. They lead by 15.
From behind, this is one of those injuries that you can really hurt the right arm of Kenyon Martin right there. Artest went up, not with the intention of hurting him, but it's just sometimes your arm gets caught in that back position as you go to dunk and somebody grabs it and pulls it back. That's when they can tear the rotator cuff, something like that.
They call the foul on Brad Miller. That's a break for Indiana. And as Martin misses the first free throw, Miller only has 2, so Artest still has 3.
The windup and the follow-through, if Martin would have gone down to the floor, and this is where you have to act sometimes, that would have been a flagrant foul call.
And that's the first New Jersey points in over 3.5 minutes, about 3:40 since their last score. 14-point Pacer lead. They trailed this best-of-5 series 2-1. They've lost the last 2. Artest, that's a 2. Ron Artest having a terrific game.
What happened under the basket was both players started to go towards Reggie Miller. There was crossing action under the basket. Both went to Miller. Artest wide open.
Jefferson. They alley-oop to Martin. And here comes Kevin Ollie. Ollie inside to Miller. Foul, and Miller will shoot 2. Everything going the Pacers' way right now.
Let's go back and I'll show you what we were talking about with that crossing action underneath the basket. You have Artest and Miller. You're going to see some crossing taking place under the basket. Miller winds up coming out this way. You're going to see Artest wind up on the right side of the floor, wide open. Here comes Artest setting the screen. Both players run to Miller. There he is, wide open. The pass on the money, the shot on the money.
Brad Miller just hit the first free throw. Lead now up to 17, make it 18, and a dominant 3rd quarter for the Indiana Pacers. Byron Scott team responded so well on the road in Game 3. Nice feed from Martin.
That's the same back cut we saw in the first half take place. That high post rub, the late pass for the layup.
And again, Brad Miller's hugging his screener instead of protecting the basket. Just bad defense right there, and he should learn from what happened previously.
Miller gets Jefferson up in the air, tries to draw the foul, doesn't get that, but gets the bucket.
One of the times I would have to agree, Reggie, I thought got hit on the shot. He deserved the free throw that time.
But if you flop so much, it's hard for the referees to know when you are actually playing it straight.
Martin comes back, kind of the cry wolf syndrome. And he's always flailing all over the place.
Oh, you're not changing over now, are you?
No, I'm still with you.
All right, I thought maybe you were becoming a Brini.
I thought this was like a Aesop fable type.
That would make me uncomfortable as well, by the way. Shot clock winding down. Artest falling away. And a 24-second violation.
Did Artest think that was like an isolation just for him for the whole 24-second clock?
You know what? Those type of possessions can get a team like New Jersey right back in the game. 14 minutes still to go. You cannot afford bad possessions like that.
Kidd tries to thread the needle, instead turns it over.
And that's what you want from a player. If you make a mistake and take a bad shot, come back and make up for it at the defensive end. Artest comes up with the steal.
That's why Isaiah Thomas says he doesn't get mad at Artest when he makes the mistakes, because he knows he's going to play hard the other end, and he knows he's just 22 years old. Artest. Crozier for three. Miller with the rebound. And another 24-second violation. It appeared that the initial shot hit the rim, so they should have reset the shot clock, and I think the officials are going to do that. Tim Donahue says yes.
Well, you see it right here. Clearly it hits the rim. Should have been a reset. And at home, you have got to make sure your clock operator gets it right. But they're from out of town this year, right? Am I right?
This year they changed that.
Oh, boy, that just...
They're rotating. We should explain that to our viewers out there, what's happened, because to eliminate any potential problems, any accusations that someone might be from that hometown, therefore the clock starts a little late or a little early, they have rotated the clock operators, and they're sending them all to different cities to work neutral sites.
Does that go for the shot clock as well as the game clock?
No, just the game clock as Crozier goes in there. The Atlanta Hawks guy is here tonight. Ollie slows down Kidd momentarily, and Artest with the swipe. A superb game for Ron Artest, trying to keep the Pacers season alive.
I want to give Ollie credit that time for leveling off Jason Kidd when he came at him on the fast break, because that's not an easy assignment.
Crozier for three. Brad Miller, another offensive rebound. Miller now with 8 boards. Final minute, third quarter, and what a quarter it's been for the Indiana Pacers. Crozier steps back, knocks it down. Austin Crozier. An 18-point lead. After scoring 38 points in the first half, the Pacers have 30 here in the third quarter. Harris draws the foul and banks it in. Another banker for Harris, and a chance for a three-point play. End of quarter concentration sometimes a problem for Indiana.
Well, that's why when you hear the whistle, try and get the ball up on the glass, because you never know if you're going to get the call or not in your favor. And that time, Harris did exactly what he was supposed to do. There was contact. He knew it. He didn't take any more dribbles. Just threw it up there, banked it in.
He banked in a three at the end of the first quarter.
Jersey just can't let go of the game. They got to hold on to the rope, try to work themselves back into it.
And an offensive foul. Again, bad decisions in the final seconds of quarters. Miller has picked up his third. And the Nets will get it out of bounds.
When you have young teams or players that have not had a lot of playoff experience and maybe no playoff experience, you don't need that. You don't need to give them another possession. You just gave up one three-point play. Now you don't want to wind up giving another one up.
They just don't understand the value of each possession. They think you can make up for it. Some possessions you can't make up for.
Shot clock turned off. Kidd looking. Martin fires away. Won't go. Williams tries to tip it. Ball knocked loose. And that will end the third quarter. Austin Crozier, a surprise performer for the Indiana Pacers because of foul trouble, getting his opportunity and certainly making the most of it as the Indiana Pacers outscore the Nets 30-20 here in this third quarter. Fourth quarter coming up in game 4. Pacers with a 15-point lead.
The NBA and WNBA continue to write new chapters to the Read to Achieve story.
Okay.
Let's read.
With each turn of the page, players and coaches are encouraging families to open a book with their children.
You like this book? All right.
And by donating computers and books to create reading and learning centers, the NBA is helping kids develop a lifelong love of reading.
Read to achieve!
Be a part of the success and read to achieve.
When you think of Italy, you think of things like the latest fashions. Want to go to Subway? But best of all, great tasting bread.
Our new roasted garlic on Italian starts with classic Italian bread, and then we top it with roasted garlic and spices and bake it all together.
Subway! Fresh!
Armor All Protectant Wipes. Armor All Shine and Protection in a wipe.
Hey guys, I got someone here who wants to meet you.
A dog!
A dog?
A dog.
But you told them we couldn't get a dog until we got the house. Did you hear something from our lender?
We got the house.
Call the Fannie Mae Foundation for a free guide to help put you on the path to home ownership and for a list of lenders and credit counselors.
Smirnoff Ice Premium Malt Beverage. Drink responsibly.
Dad, wait up.
You pump. You pump. You pump. Aloha.
Sounds like a good thing.
Budget is really working hard to improve truck rental.
Yeah, rates starting in 1995.
And a service where our movers help load and unload the trucks.
Can we make load and unload even better?
Roller skates to make the move even faster.
Hmm?
They don't need roller skates. Yeah, no, not roller skates, but load and unload. Is that your idea? That's a terrific idea.
Fourth quarter set to begin in Indianapolis. Pacers in control right now, a 15-point lead over the Nets. Let's take a look at tonight's budget rent-a-car fast break.
Well, look what jumps out at you here immediately. Remember we said over and over again tonight, coming into this game, Jersey had 56 points to just 21 in transition. Well, right now, 18-14. And then they were shooting almost 44% coming in right now at 36% tonight.
And if you look at New Jersey's assists, they're way down at 12. And even though Indiana has 17 turnovers, they've only got 8 points off those 17 turnovers. That's not New Jersey net basketball. Little zone here by New Jersey.
Anthony Johnson in the game. Jason Kidd sitting. Ron Mercer misfires. Ball knocked out of bounds. Last touch by Foster. And you guys talked, some of the numbers we'll take a look at. You guys talked about in the beginning, Mike, especially about role players. How about the play of Kevin Ollie and, of course, Austin Crozier? Jefferson in and out. Ollie played the entire third quarter. Tinsley struggled in the first half, has not returned yet, and it's not because of his knee. It's a coach's decision.
I really liked Kevin Ollie tonight. He's got a real good feel for the game. His pace and tempo, just enough speed and quickness to get to where he wants to get to, and he knows who's supposed to have the basketball right now. Plus, he's playing probably injury-free.
Jefferson got a piece of that one, and Anthony Johnson pushing it up. Johnson trying to draw a foul on Jermaine O'Neal, almost picked up his fifth.
Yeah, he may have picked it up. Yeah, exactly. Jeff, what'd you expect him to say? It's, you know,
I go by the whistle. That's what I was taught. Crozier. Jefferson trying to battle Foster, and Jefferson bumped him, and Foster will shoot two. Second foul on the rookie Richard Jefferson.
Indiana, first 3 possessions have been very, very shaky. They've got to learn how to play with the lead and finish this game off and not allow New Jersey back into the game.
And perhaps that's why Isaiah Thomas calls a 20-second timeout with a 15-point lead, just over a minute gone by here in the fourth. I want to remind you to watch the Braves on the Superstation this weekend. Take on the St. Louis Cardinals. That's Friday night, 8 Eastern. And Saturday afternoon at 2 Eastern. Braves baseball right here on TBS.
You know, the injuries have really hit the Braves. We need to get some players healthy down there. Then they'll storm back.
Well, being a Mets fan, we took our injury with Mo Vaughn already, but you didn't hear the excuses coming out of New York because we were winning despite our injuries. Our pitching has been superb. It may take over the best rotation in baseball.
Oh, better than Arizona?
They got only 2.
Stop it. Stop it already. What's wrong with you guys?
The Mets. Meet the Mets. Step right up and greet the Mets.
Foster, I'm glad you're not singing. Foster, way short on that one.
You don't like the Yankees rotation? I mean, those guys are
I was talking in the National League.
Oh, okay.
And just as a side note, Mets 10, Diamondbacks 1 on the road.
More baseball updates and talks later on in this fourth quarter.
Hot stove lead.
They get us fired up. They just put up one little promo. We get fired up.
I'm glad you're not allowed to comment on the movies. Aaron Williams. Jefferson. Yeah, Richard Jefferson puts it in. 14-point game. Still plenty of time. Only 90 seconds gone by here in the fourth.
It's important for New Jersey's reserves to get it below double figures. Then you'll see the starters back in, most likely for New Jersey, to try to make one final push.
O'Neal. Crozier. Shot clock winding down. O'Neal, tough shot. Aaron Williams defended him well, and a loose ball foul will go against the Pacers. Jeff Foster crashing in and picking up the personal. And that's his third.
You gotta like the way Foster goes after offensive rebounds. If you're in his way, he just kind of throws you down, move aside, come over your back, whatever it takes. He knows his minutes are going to be limited. Let me play as hard as I can while I'm on the floor, give it everything I have, see what I can come up with.
Goes after every missed shot.
His success is based on he just wants the ball more than the other guy. So does Artest on the steal. Draws the foul. And Ron Artest again with his defensive prowess will go to the free throw line for 2.
Strength, anticipation of the pass, getting the arm out in the passing lane. You see the deflection. Normally you like that right arm in there. He comes with the left arm and then he stays inbounds and now goes up to finish with his left hand. Draws the contact but misses the layup.
I'm surprised that New Jersey hasn't adjusted. On each pass to his man, he's lunging and leaning for the steal. This is where they should back cut and take advantage of that gambling defense.
The numbers for Ron Artest, who again said he felt that New Jersey wanted it more last couple of games. He was going to make sure he played harder than anyone coming into this one. And he has played a terrific game. You mentioned strength, talking about him, Mike. People don't realize how strong this kid is.
Played a power forward at St. John's many times and held his own.
Aaron Williams. O'Neal, offensive foul. It's going to go against Aaron Williams. His third personal.
Williams starting to make his move to get into the middle lane. Now, you realize he's trying to pick up the foul on O'Neal. O'Neal occupies his space straight up and down. Williams jumps into him, takes that space away. Therefore, the foul is called.
Kevin Alley goes to the glass. Oh, nice move, just wouldn't finish. Here come the Nets the other way.
And there's a great adjustment by Crozier. They're going under that pick and roll. He set the pick low so Ollie could turn the corner.
Williams comes right back. O'Neal gets out of the way. Collins, a rebound block, but a foul. Crozier seemed to have it clean, but Artest was in the area as well, and they call a foul on Ron Artest.
Now, coming out of high school, Jermaine O'Neal was considered to be probably the best shot blocker coming out as a high school player. And right now, you would think he'd have a little better understanding. He's leaving his feet on almost every pump fake. I mean, the next foul is coming almost any second now. That's the way it seems. He's already gotten away with one foul, number 5. He's close to the next one coming.
And I think New Jersey's got to initiate the contact when they get him up in the air. Make the referee make the call.
Collins Missed the bounce on the second one. The free throw shooting poor for New Jersey, 9 of 15. That's certainly not the reason they're down by 15, but it's not helping them. We've seen some bad free throw shooting in this series at times. 15-point lead for Indiana. Still 9 minutes remaining.
Jersey's in a 2-3 zone.
Crozier puts it in again. Austin Crozier with 16 points off the bench.
Zone buster. There he is. He's got to be the most valuable player in this game. I don't want to pat myself on the back, but...
Well, don't do that then. The game's not over yet, okay?
Lucius Harris knocks one down. Right now for the New Jersey Nets, 5 subs in the game. Entire starting 5 on the bench, including Jason Kidd, who was at a rough night. O'Neal wants it. Tried to force it, and he got bailed out as Harris made a bad play and committed the foul. I think they may count it on the floor. It's a second team foul. We'll have a timeout either way as Harris picks up his second personal. Pacers looking strong, a 15-point lead.
It's just the same old thing. I need adventure, excitement. I'm suffocating.
Okay. You can drive.
Spice things up. The Hyundai Santa Fe. V6 power, full-time four-wheel drive, and the freedom of America's best warranty plan. The Santa Fe.
Don't even think about it.
Experience NBA.com on America Online. See the best action shots and off-the-court photos every night. At America Online, keyword NBA.com.
Think fast. Want to hear something that's really hot?
Oh, yeah.
How about Scary Movie 2 for only $1.99?
Did you hear that?
Fact. You bet. The Wayans brothers do it again.
Who's ready for the main course?
Me.
So call everyone you can.
We have a situation here.
And let them in on the Scary Movie 2 deal for $1.99.
I'm not crazy.
Order now with your remote.
Better use my strong.
Before it's out of here.
Goodbye.
At DirecTV, we speak entertainment better than anyone. Introducing the Total Choice Plus package with over 130 channels, including local channels, for just $39.99 a month. Total Choice Plus has more entertainment choices for everyone in the family. Over 15 additional channels for just a few dollars more than Total Choice. Total Choice Plus. More choice, better value. Order now at directtv.com or call 1-800-DIRECTV.
Austin Crozier had those great playoffs for the Pacers back in 2000 when Indiana went to the NBA Finals. He's been quiet throughout the playoffs until tonight. He has been absolutely superb, Mike.
Well, there's a second spot on 3 in the corner. Now we'll see a little foot fake to get the defender back, and he raises up. And now watch the step back at the end. Drive, step back away from the defender, and splash it.
All because of foul problems. He got his opportunity, and he has made the most of it.
And that's what being a professional is all about. You work and you work and you work, not knowing when your opportunity is going to come, and then make the most of it and make the coach play you.
Now in his 5th year in the league out of Providence. Four minutes gone by here in the 4th. Kevin Ollie steps up, backs it in.
He called glass on that.
He's laughing at it. Ollie having just a terrific game. Ollie has played the entire second half.
What do you think? He's going to ask for a rest right now? This is his chance.
Tinsley ineffective in the first half, still bothered by the knee injury. And Ollie grabs a jump ball. And that deal that was made, I don't want to say a throw-in because he's anything but a throw-in player, but he's kind of the last one they thought of. Mercer, Miller, and Artest, and then Kevin Ollie, and look what Ollie's doing for him.
Well, they knew they gave up a backup point guard in Travis Best, who for some teams could be a starting point guard, and they needed somebody to replace him, a little bit of experience, and they liked him.
17-point Indiana lead. Now again, the starters are all on the bench for New Jersey. Is Byron Scott trying to signal a message here or anything?
I just think he was looking for a spark because no starter played well, looking to see if they could make a run. And right now, it doesn't look like they're going to make that run, so just keep them there and get them ready for Game 5 if they don't make that run.
Largest lead of the game for the Pacers, who are looking good for a Game 5 Thursday night. And we have a foul. It's going to go against Jermaine O'Neal, and that's his 5th.
That's the thing that Jeff was talking about before. That high post man has to protect his teammate on those cuts. Well, O'Neal protected him on that cut. That's the play that we saw those 2 layups happen. Protected a little bit too much by throwing the elbow out there and hitting the cutter.
And going into Game 5, these are the fouls he's going to have to stay away from. They're going to need him on the floor. 2 offensive fouls with screens, a bump on a cut, instead of protecting it with your hands and your length. He's going to have to be on the floor for them to be able to win a Game 5.
Crozier was over there in the right corner, hopping up and down, wanting the ball again, as he is out the field tonight.
Yeah, but you know that they've gotten the message from Isaiah that he wants a running clock, making good decisions with the ball. I like the fact that Mercer could have shot the thing. He would have shot that in the past normally with 16 seconds remaining on the 24-second clock. He caught it, faced up, kicked it right back out again to use more time on the clock.
Mercer will shoot 2s. Collins, the rookie, picks up his 1st. Ron Mercer only 2 points off the bench. Game was a little sloppy in the first half as both teams struggled with turnovers. It was a low-scoring first half. Pacers led by 5. And then a strong third quarter when they erupted for 30 points and have been in control pretty much the entire second half. And a foul away from the ball. Artest helped up. Jefferson picks up his 3rd.
Artest is not going to let him come out the right side. So when he gets under the basket, nope, you're not going that way. As a result, Jefferson hits him with the shoulder and the offensive foul. And maybe Artest has been watching Reggie Miller a little bit. What do you think?
I'm not sure Richard Jefferson can drop a 225-pound Ron Artest with a little shoulder.
Wait, how about 246 pounds based on what the profile says on it? He's gained a little weight since he left St. John's.
Ball nearly broken up by Collins, but appeared he hit Mercer in the head. And another foul against New Jersey. So they're in the penalty, and more free throws coming up for Ron Mercer as Collins has a 2nd, and now the starters come back in.
You don't realize how thick Artest is. I mean, they've got him listed at 246 in the program. He is really thick and wide.
And still, and this is where the athletes have really taken off with strength training. Still able to have quickness, a good first step, good lateral quickness, carrying almost 250 pounds. It's almost unheard of.
20-point lead, and that is the largest of the game for the Pacers as we're approaching the midway point of the 4th. And what has just been a terrific second half for the Indiana Pacers. Harris. Artest comes barreling in to get his 8th rebound.
It's interesting to me that Byron Scott, down 20, put Kidd and Martin back in the game. Do you think he's trying to send them a message going forward that they need to play better to win a Game 5?
Well, sometimes you let people taste what it's like to be out there when you're down 20 points, and the taste and feel isn't very good. So maybe coming out game number 5, you have a whole different outlook and attitude about it.
And as a coach, if I was going to lose a game going into a deciding Game 5, I'd want it to be as ugly as possible so you could fuel the team over the next couple days getting ready for Game 5.
You know, I've heard coaches before when they're down by 20, 25 points and you hear people in the stands yelling, they'll get the starters out, put the other guys in, let them finish the game out. And I've heard coaches respond by saying, the starters are the one that got us down 25. Why should I put the other guys out there now? Let them feel what it's like.
Speaking of responding, Austin Crozier again, 8 of 11 from the field.
If he plays any more minutes, he's going to have to go to an oxygen pack, you know. I mean, this is the most extended minutes he's played in such a long time.
And gets the rebound as well. 20-point lead with 4:40 to play. O'Neal gets inside. Been a pretty quiet night for O'Neal in foul trouble, but his teammates have certainly picked up the slack. 22-point blowout now for Indiana.
start thinking about getting Jermaine O'Neal out of there. You don't need to get him injured here down the stretch.
Jefferson with the jam. Now, you guys always talk about how the team that loses the previous game always comes out the next game with a little more hunger or force or whatever you want to talk about it. But how about in a deciding game? Obviously, they both have the same scenario, correct?
Absolutely. Doesn't matter going into game 5. Nothing else matters but that game.
Smirnoff Ice Premium Malt Beverage, reminding you that if you're gonna drink, do whatever it takes to act responsibly.
It's just the same old thing. I need adventure, excitement. I'm suffocating.
Okay. You can drive.
Spice things up. The Hyundai Santa Fe. V6 power, full-time four-wheel drive, and the freedom of America's best warranty plan. The Santa Fe.
Don't even think about it.
Succeeded in a city bound by tradition.
Oh my goodness! I don't believe what I just saw!
And led by a new wave of green, the Boston Celtics can add to their history. A chance for a new title and a 17th championship banner. The Celtics versus the 76ers tomorrow on TNT.
Some unlikely stars tonight for the Indiana Pacers as they're on the verge of tying the series at 2 games apiece and forcing a game 5, which will be Thursday night in New Jersey if Indiana holds on. With 4 minutes remaining, up by 20, looks pretty good.
The unlikely stars are talking about Austin Crozier and Ron Artest. They have been averaging in these first 3 games combined 11.5 points. Right now they have 36 points between them.
O'Neal spinning inside, and O'Neal starting to get a little bit of a feel in this game after being in foul trouble.
Which I think is important going into game 5. You want him feeling good about himself. He's had a couple hoops right there. Even though it was against second unit people, it's still important for his confidence.
Collins banks it in. What's been the most impressive for the Pacers tonight? What's impressed you the most?
First of all, they survived an ugly beginning. Both teams came out, and this was not a pretty basketball game. So you have the wills there to stay around, hang around, even though things aren't going well. Their main guys, Reggie Miller and Jermaine O'Neal, just couldn't get it going in the first half. O'Neal got in foul trouble. Miller was too afraid in the first half. Yet the other guys came in and got it going for him.
Jefferson the rebound. Mercer the steal. 19 turnovers for the New Jersey Nets. They've also shot just 39% from the field, and Indiana has shot 51%. Kevin Ollie wants a 3. Ollie puts it in.
What I think is very important going forward into game 5 is, does Isaiah Thomas go back to Tinsley, or does he stay with Ollie as a starter? Does he play Crozier in his normal rotation, or does he wait and see if he gets in foul trouble? I think those decisions are going to be very, very interesting and telling to how that game goes.
And part of that will come about as far as practice, a little bit of practice time, and they're not going to go very hard. Let's face it, we're one day in between, but they'll determine through treatment where Tinsley is. Isaiah could always start Tinsley and then remove him after the first couple of minutes of the game and go right back to Ali again.
Ali with a playoff career high 9 points and a playoff career high 8 assists. O'Neal draws the foul. So with 2:07 remaining, fourth quarter in Indiana, Pacers on the verge of forcing a deciding Game 5.
With Big Mac no longer on the menu.
Back goes Andrews. He made the catch.
The Braves hope to feast on the Cards in St. Louis.
Slam! It's out of here.
Braves Cardinals, 8 Eastern Friday on TBS Superstation.
It's just the same old thing. I need adventure, excitement. I'm suffocating.
Okay. You can drive.
Spice things up. The Hyundai Santa Fe. V6 power, full-time four-wheel drive, and the freedom of America's best warranty plan. The Santa Fe.
Don't even think about it.
Discover your dreams. Explore the unknown. Imagine a new tomorrow. Tech TV, the new television network about technology. Tech TV, television about technology.
Tech TV is available now on DirecTV, channel 354.
Celtic lead, final minute. Sixers trying to keep their season alive. McKee falling away. Coleman takes it in. Oh, what a play from Coleman. The NBA playoffs continue tomorrow night on TNT. Game 4 of the Celtics and the 76ers from Philadelphia, followed by Game 4 of the Spurs and the Sonics from Seattle. Coverage beginning at 8 p.m. Eastern only on TNT. So some Game 4s coming up. There'll be a Game 5 in this series on Thursday night in Jersey.
Okay, great Swami. Let me ask you this: you picked Austin Crozier tonight. Who you picking in Philly? Like Vonteego Cummings or Raja Bell to come off the bench and have a huge game? You got somebody for me?
Yeah. I'm going to go with Allen Iverson.
Oh, great.
The obscure Allen Iverson.
Yes.
Coach, I wonder, you talked about the third player for the Pacers stepping up. I would like to know, who is that third player going to be on the road in a deciding game? Is it going to be one of the young players, or is it going to be like a Crozier again?
As you look at the Eastern Conference, Charlotte winning. They'll play the winner of this series. Boston leading 2-1. Detroit, Toronto will have a Game 5.
So this going to game number 5 will give Charlotte a little time to prepare and get ready for both teams, not knowing which one's going to come out of it, obviously.
Brian Scott has emptied his bench. Nets now, there's a reach and foul. Nets are going to go home where they have the 3rd best home record in the NBA. Sacramento, LA had better home records, and then the Nets 33-8 at home. They were very difficult at home, but you have to figure Indiana, by already winning Game 1 there, it's not going to be any kind of fear factor for them.
You never know in a Game 5. It's a totally different animal where it's a winner take all, and they're going to have to deal with the initial push of the Nets, the initial push of the crowd, and the rage of Jason Kidd, who I'm sure is just stewing about, tonight's performance.
I'm looking out there saying Ali has been so important that maybe I bring, and no disrespect to Forster, but maybe I bring Ali, sit him on the bench, put Forster in, let Brewer bring the ball down the floor. We're just not worried about getting it down the floor for the last minute and 30 seconds because you cannot afford to have Ali get hurt right now.
Sloppy turnovers as we have some garbage time here in game 4. Johnson just fires it up. Mercer with the rebound. 19-point lead with 1.5 minutes to play. So after the Pacers won game 1, Nets bounced back, took 2 straight. Bender inside, nice pass to Bruno Sundov. And everybody getting into the act for the Indiana Pacers. Once again, a reminder of this game. It's going to be Thursday night in Jersey, a 7 p.m. start on TNT. Nice block from Bender. That Detroit-Toronto game is an 8:30 start on Thursday on TBS. So 2 game 5s on Thursday as Kevin Ollie putting the finishing touches on what has been just a terrific performance from him. A season high 33 minutes for Kevin Ollie here with Indiana. First obtained in that trade from Chicago. Donnie Marshall misses. Ollie 11 points, 8 assists, 3 rebounds.
This is a terrible feeling when you're the coach on the short end of the score, isn't it, right now, Jeff?
That clock just won't run quick enough. But he has a lot of ammunition going into his preparation for game 5.
Fewest points the Nets have scored in a game this season, 73. So you got to give a lot of credit to the Indiana defense, although they get past that mark. But a very impressive win as they led the entire second half and in control for much of the third and fourth quarters. And the crowd responding here at Conseco Fieldhouse. The Indiana Pacers have forced a game 5 against the #1 seed in the East.
Reggie Miller walks out on the floor, goes right up to Ollie, gives him a little bit of an acknowledgement, knowing how important he was in this win tonight.
A terrific performance from the Pacers, including Austin Crozier, who's with D-Line. D.
Thanks, Mike. Austin, I have to tell you, Jeff Van Gundy said in the morning meeting, he said at the open of this game that you were going to have a big game. What did he know and you know about your game tonight that we all didn't?
Well, you know, nothing was said to me, but it's just a matter of staying ready and not losing my confidence. Just worrying about the things I have control over, and that's preparing for the game like I'm going to play.
Do you think you now have Isaiah Thomas making tough decisions for Thursday night's game, just given your performance and the minutes you got after only getting 12 in the first 3 games?
I mean, hopefully, you know, I'll get the opportunity that I got tonight. You know, Jermaine was in foul trouble and struggling a little bit, and he's been our go-to guy all year, so he's going to have to play a huge role in that game for us, and, you know, hopefully I'll fit into the mix somewhere.
Thanks for your time. Congratulations.
Thanks a lot, Dee.
All right, and Mike, remember, Isaiah's horoscope said he had to make some changes, and that was maybe the best one he did.
Certainly, D, is Crozier with a great performance. Remember, the Pacers, they didn't clinch a playoff spot till the final day of the regular season, and now they are just 1 win away from knocking off the #1 seed. The winner of this series will play Charlotte, who won earlier in Orlando.
How about that one defensive rebound we talked about that gave New Jersey the win here in the last game? That could have been Indiana, and this could have been Indiana moving on.
Oh, well, the perception changes from one game to the next in the playoff series. Final score, the Pacers 97 and the Nets 74. Best of 5 series tied up at 2 games apiece. The NBA playoffs continue tomorrow night on TNT with Game 4 of the Celtics and the Sixers from Philadelphia, followed by Game 4 of the Spurs and the Sonics from Seattle. Coverage begins at 8 p.m. Eastern, only on TNT. So for Mike Fratello, Jeff Van Gundy, D. Lineham, and our entire crew, this is Mike Breen saying good night from Indianapolis. After this break, we'll send you to our Atlanta studios for Inside the NBA.